right, third time lucky, man. You know,
What the fuck?
before we restarted this whole thing for the third time, we were talking about dead birds.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I was saying, either extreme weather change,
Mm-hmm.
you know, let's get back to what the dead bird was about. So, there's an article that we recently saw, jahan a dead bird is floating up in the air.
Right.
So it's like a glitch in the matrix kind of a
Do you,
thing.
do you believe that?
And you shared with me. I think it looks doctored to me, bro.
Why?
With all the technology they have now, I mean, look at it. हम लोग घर में बैठे बैठ के पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं 5 साल पहले या 3 साल पहले ये टेक्नोलॉजी कहाँ थी? Like it was not that easy.
It was
You
always
had to
there.
had a mic and all that.
No.
Yeah, but I think you mean the podcasting technology or
Yeah, it
just
was
in
all there.
general? No, I'm just talking about in general. Like the we were talking about deep fakes last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you can do a deep fake, ये तो बहुत आसान है. You can just literally, use some
Yeah, but it doesn't look
video
like it.
software to. You think so?
I mean, I'm just
It's
curious.
like all those
It looks,
UFO videos, bro.
but
It's like
listen,
all those UFO videos.
hear me out. Hear me out. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying it is not doctored.
Just say it, bro. Just say it. Say
I'm
it,
not.
bro. Go deep.
I'm.
Go
No,
deep.
I'm not going. I'm not gonna go deep. I'm just saying that it is interesting. A lot of things are happening that
Yeah.
people are not getting concerned about. A lot of things. This is just like an extreme of it, right?
Hmm.
Seeing a floating bird in the air. Someone says that they probably have a dead bird, like a taxidermed bird, and then they put a drone in it because the birds are so light.
To fly it up in the air.
The feathers and the bones, everything is light and it's dead. So you can put like a drone into it and like,
Fly
have
it.
the fans outside. But I didn't see any fans on it, so it was interesting.
Or yeah. So or
And
the other
and
thing
y-
is,
and usually those drones, if they're static, they keep on moving, right?
hmm,
This was like straight,
but it was not moving.
not at all. Hey, I
मतलब
don't
वो
know.
आगे पीछे भी नहीं हो रहा.
I don't know.
अच्छा.
It's just
Yeah, but
interesting.
or it's possible that someone is able to use, you know, telepathetic or it maybe it's not a glitch in the matrix. Maybe someone is able to use supernatural. Someone has
So,
like in
but
Star
that's
Wars.
that.
They can. Yeah,
But that. Hey, hold on. Wait, hold on.
yeah.
But we agree that that's fucking not real. Supernatural. How dare you
नहीं
believe
नहीं
in
no no no
supernatural?
no 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 no. So if video recording, let's say hypothetically speaking, अगर तो केस खत्म हो जाता है ना कि फेक है. अगर फेक रिकॉर्डिंग है चलो केस खत्म हो गया. But if it is not fake, then what are the options? One, as you were saying offline, कि
Mm.
boss glitch in the matrix है क्या? Glitch in the matrix है, ठीक
I didn't say
है?
anything.
Yeah, no.
I'm
चल
just an
मैं
observer.
बोलता हूँ. चल मैं बोलता हूँ. Yeah. So
Uh,
maybe I'm saying there's a glitch in the matrix. Okay, that's one option.
right.
Okay. Second option is कि glitch in the matrix नहीं है. Someone is able to use the power of their mind,
But that's a glitch in the matrix.
telepathic mind,
It's not possible.
and raise it. No, someone in our world is using the power of their mind
But that's not
to
possible
elevate.
according to science. What are you talking about? Trust the science, dude.
There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that science cannot explain. What about all that? Like if you think
Hmm.
about
लगता है जुम्मे की नमाज पढ़ने जाना पड़ेगा.
dude, जुमा नहीं पढ़ा आज. बर्ड्स का अगर तुम देखो, if come staying on track, the birds का, if train of my thought. अच्छा, I was about trying to make a point from the whole science thing. Science cannot tell us, अभी भी they cannot
Hmm.
tell us कि birds के ये जो flying patterns हैं, migration patterns हैं, ये कहाँ से आते हैं, कहाँ जाते हैं, वो नहीं अभी तक सही तरह से मैप हुआ. Like whales, where they go to give birth and then mate, वो अभी तक नहीं पता चला इन लोगों को. तो they dive so deep that any trackers or anything they have in with them, they get lost. उनको ये नहीं पता, तो वह जो हमें ये बताए. Come on, man, like, no, I believe that something is
I'm
there. It's like
sorry,
the Scully's monitor के office में होता है ना. I believe,
sorry,
you know.
sorry. You are an anti-science. You do not trust the science. You are a, what do you say, one of these right wingers. You
Pseudoscientist.
know, no, you just how dare you question science?
That we need to question things. That's all.
Oh
I'm
no,
just
but
questioning.
wait, hold on. Science is not supposed to be questioned. You have to trust the science. I'm just scrolling. It's okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
What is your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. It's just interesting. Maybe somebody put like strings, like a fishing
ये
wire.
बर्ड की जगह पे इमेजिन बर्ड की जगह पे कोई दूसरा अनआइडेंटिफाइड ऑब्जेक्ट होता, वो यूएफओ हो गया, राइट? सो ये पहली दफा तो नहीं है कि आसमान में कुछ चीज दिखाई दी है. दे हैव
Yeah,
एक्चुअली लुक्ड
but
एट.
but but we don't see the video properly, right? We don't see the bird being alive. Like it wasn't like a bird like in a flying position, right? It was like uh, I don't know. Maybe you should just play that video, see what the fuck's going on. And your audio comes in and goes for me. I don't know if it responds.
Hold on.
Now,
Now, yeah.
oh, now you look faster.
Yeah,
So,
okay, cool. Yeah, what are you saying, क्या बोल रहे थे?
so I don't know. It can be like a dead bird that somebody uh, put fishing wires to from one house to another house
So
just
basically,
to
you mean
fucking
it's still
troll
there, but it's
people.
doctored. Yeah. Like
Yo,
a,
I'm,
semi-doctored.
I'm,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not saying that you gotta go into like a glitch in the matrix. Somebody's just fucking with us or on the street. I'll just fuck with people walking in the street.
Well, I mean, can you remember? I mean, especially in Pakistan, India, and even in the West. I'm not saying in Dubai. Those colonies or suburbs जहाँ electric wires visible होती हैं, सड़कों के ऊपर से गुजरती हैं, you would see
Hmm.
someone has always hanged a shoe over it. Sneakers
Uh,
वगैरह फिल्मों में भी दिखाई देते थे, याद है? You know?
uh,
So I mean, um, in terms of how it's related to the bird, I don't think so. It just came into my mind that maybe someone's trolling. Because even shoes, right? Back in the day, I was just thinking, how can, well, some guy used to take shoelaces, tie it together of a pair, and then throw it over the thing, and then it would just hang there for years, you know. And I was just thinking, okay, why would he do it? What's the tradition behind it, you know? And it's in both.
no,
Yeah,
I don't
no
think so. It
reason.
happens in it. I don't think so. It happens in India. In India, the only thing they throw over the line is is like a fucking hook to steal electricity.
Yeah,
Why?
true.
They need the shoes to wear, if they're
Yeah.
lucky.
I think
So
I'm confusing myself because all my travels
you,
I've
you're
had
talking
to Pakistan.
you're
Yeah,
talking about North America, probably.
नॉर्थ अमेरिका में है
No,
ये. I think I'm
no,
confusing कि
no,
वहाँ भी है.
no, bro. In India or
या तो
Pakistan, if
लिफाफा
somebody
होगा या
throws,
तो हाँ तो लिफाफा
hear
अटक
me
गया.
out. No, no, no. If anybody throws a shoe in India and Pakistan, somebody will risk their life to go fucking take it. What the fuck you are talking about?
True,
You
I know.
thought
Yeah.
it is North America where fucking
Yeah. नॉर्थ अमेरिका में होता है
from
मैच. नाइकी के रीबॉक के स्नीकर्स मैच
yeah,
अटक रहे होते हैं
fucking
उसके ऊपर.
that's
But
fucked.
why
This is
throw it? Yeah, like why?
uh, I
Anyway,
never
so
researched on it.
yeah, so maybe the next time. Other thing is this, bro. When you're talking about science and but you don't believe science in action, is
I
believable. Like for
agree with
example,
science. What are you talking
yeah,
about? Don't ever question science. How many times I've told you, listen, if you question science, I'm gonna shut this down. We will never talk again.
you're gonna
You're
cancel
not
me.
gonna be my
Are you
friend.
trying to cancel me?
No,
Are you trying to cancel this podcast now?
I'll
Nobody
take you
believes
out
me.
of my life. I'll take you out of my life. You're this fucking conspiracy theorist who does not trust the science or question science. How dare you? How dare you, Omar? How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Um, I was watching this documentary. The BBC, I think, is still making good animal. I don't listen to BBC for anything apart from their nature documentaries. You know? उसमें
Oh
cinematography
yeah.
अच्छी होती है और the cameraman, I guess, who does 90% of the fucking work, where they risk their lives to basically or spend a lot of time and patience to capture those moments. I can really appreciate
Mm-hmm.
that, especially in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the technology that they use to create these documentaries. You can really appreciate
You
it.
you sitting in comfort, in your air conditioned,
And watching
in
one line
middle
fucking,
mid,
attack another.
like relax, having your popcorn.
While I'm
It's like,
eating
oh, have
popcorn,
some
there's
chips.
another animal tearing another animal
That
apart.
fucking the cameraman probably is on his fucking 10th day in the fucking jungle,
Waiting
taking
for
his
the action
shit,
to happen, yeah.
cleaning his ass with a fucking leaf because toilet paper is no more there.
Yeah.
Because the fucking lion's not doing that thing.
Yeah, the lions are sitting
And
there
you're
waiting for
doing
the
that,
prey.
it's like
Yeah,
you enjoy that.
yeah, exactly.
You enjoy that.
I'm
That's
enjoying it.
that's good.
This is a
That's all
documentary
the
that came
hard
out
work they do for you.
for my entertainment, so I can enjoy it. But I guess nature is pretty brutal. मतलब मैं there are a lot of documentaries that come out over the years. अभी कुछ महीने पहले I think last year, a previous documentary came out. It's called The Hunt. Okay, and it talks about
Hmm.
how basically it captures different animals hunting their prey. And in that, this is one sequence, bro. Fucking, it's a bunch of wolves taking down what do you call a caribou or something like a moose or something. No,
Hmm.
it can't be a. If it's a wolf, it can't be a moose. It must be a caribou or something. And they go after a calf and everything, and it's brutal, bro. It's like unless like the way we do it, I guess they call this inhumane, which is the way we slaughter झटका को आप कह लें
What do
जो
you
भी
what
है
do you mean by we?
human beings, the way
Okay.
human beings slaughter basically. It's okay, bro. Don't
Hmm.
get triggered. So, the way you slaughter animals and the way they go about the whole idea of कि भाई ये inhumane है. अगर वो animals को देखें, like you watch this the hunt and you see how these wolves basically take down this huge fucking beast. It's like this fucking high, like a horse, man, and they take it down और पांच पांच छह छह जगहों से नोच रहे हैं एक ने टांग पकड़ ली एक ने गला पकड़ लिया and the animal is still alive while they're eating it and probably stays alive for another 15-20 minutes while they're eating out of his belly and then they leave and then
Hmm.
the hyenas come after that when the wolves come
Hmm.
go away hyenas आते हैं फिर वो अपना क्या कहते हैं उसमें से क्या कहते हैं जो माल निकालना होता है जो बचा कुचा जो होता है ऑर्गन्स वगैरह वो निकालते हैं so I
Hmm.
mean in terms of like
It will.
I think perspective is important, so I believe in that kind of science, something I can see when they
Hmm.
say to me or but I guess there are we can't see germs but they exist. I mean microscope से देखो चीजें नजर आती but ये जो आजकल जो शुरू हुआ हुआ ना कि the science says this, science says that. I mean, you've done a study, okay,
Hmm.
you've done a study, you published it, doesn't mean shit. Like, वो study किस यूनिवर्सिटी ने की है, किसने commission की, आपको क्या पता? वही मैं कह रहा हूँ. I think
Hmm.
we had all these offline conversations before us, where मैंने कहा था कि,
The-
you know, climate change. There is all these studies about for कि climate change हो रहा है, and then there's all these studies about कि climate change नहीं हो रहा. तो
hmm.
इस madness में, how do you, for any example, ये तो climate change एक example है. How do you ascertain मतलब कैसे तुम फिगर आउट करते हो क्या सही है क्या नहीं है और यू जस्ट काइंड ऑफ लाइक फक इट डजंट मैटर.
I mean, if you look at climate change, we are old enough to know that we've been duped before, when we were younger, right? I think it was Al Gore, with his
इनकन्वीनियंट
amazing
ट्रूथ.
documentary.
या
I
मैंने
loved it,
जब या
right?
ब्रो व्हेन आई वॉच डॉक्यूमेंट्री मैं सोचा यार man, ये खत्म हो रही कुछ करना पड़ेगा.
Fuck it,
It's
that.
like,
Right? In 12
yeah.
years, we are gonna get fucked. And
Hmm.
we are, I think, probably in the 20th year now. So I think human society, different faction, they all have doomsday mindset. right? Like if you go into like the Jehovah's Witness, they say, "Oh fuck, world's gonna end. Jesus is gonna come." Evangelicals, Shias, and
Yeah.
Sunnis, and fucking Christians, you know.
Mm.
So science as a religion needs a doomsday fucking situation, right? Hey, listen, if you're not a good person,
Science
and you're
needs
not
a
doing,
doomsday style, like a like
yeah,
you just said, major religions of the
yeah,
world है,
it's
where they
like
have an
it's like
end of the world concept. वो तुम ये कह रहे हो कि साइंस जो
yes,
ग्रुप
that's
है
what
जो
exactly
एकेडमी है,
it's.
yeah.
bec- The moment you realize that most religions and institutions start going out and scaring people to collect money, donation. भाई देखो दुनिया खराब हो रही है, the world is becoming bad. Please come to our church, put some donations, you know.
जैसे वो पीके
Uh,
में भी दिखाया, आई मीन इट्स इन एवरीवेयर, इट्स इन एवरी रिलीजन,
I
पीके पीके
haven't seen
पीके
PK.
उसमें भी सिमिलर
I
कॉन्सेप्ट
haven't seen
डिस्कस किया.
I haven't seen PK, but all I can say is that it's pretty the see as a human we are in our intuition is made to recognize patterns, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Is this science? This is science or no? As humans, we are we have in our DNA, mm, I don't know, millions of years of pattern recognition,
Yeah, we have this innate ability where we can recognize threats, we can recognize
right?
danger around the corner, and gut feeling, as you
So,
might call
so as a pattern recognition, I see that the religions, that are there, different religions. I'm interested in all kinds of cultures. I'm interested in race. I'm interested in cultures. I'm interested in religions, and I've seen in most religions, major religions, there's always, especially Abrahamic religions, there's always something about, the end of days, judgment day, which, you know, I mean, everybody can believe what they want to believe. It's personal, right? It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect you if a Jehovah's Witness believes there's doomsday coming in a year, right? Uh, but the ultimate control is when they say science, according to our science, the world's gonna be underwater in 12 years, you know.
it. Mm.
Duped once, you know. Uh, I think climate changes. That's how climate is. They're now saying that the Earth's poles are changing. North Pole and South Pole, they're constantly changing on the axis. The axis it's spinning, that axis is changing. And as the axis changes, it will create some fucking change. Can we control it? I don't think so, man. You just have to be smarter. Okay, buying a fucking $50 million, I don't know, God knows how many $1 million of houses on the sea is, in my opinion, amazing, right? But kind of stupid, because shit can happen. Like you don't want to buy a fucking house in Bali,
Yeah,
right,
you get a
next to the
tsunami and you're
beach.
fucked. Yeah.
Like why? So look at the earthquake in Gaziantep, in Turkey just now. Fucking crazy. It's on the fault lines. The whole fucking thing is on the fault lines. They have built buildings, They all love buildings because that's how the capitalist society, hey, I have this much land, but I'm gonna build something on top of it, and then I'm gonna keep rent it to people. And knowing there's a fault line there, they build a lot of buildings.
Mm.
And when fucking shit hits the fan, people die. And I think it's just natural, man. I'm
Even
not.
death.
uh,
Death is a natural
I
law.
mean,
Yeah.
like I'm a believer of uncertainty. Speaking of uncertainty, have you seen the movie A Serious Man?
Yeah, I've seen it. The Coen Brothers one.
What do you think about it?
I think it's about a person who is not in the beginning of the movie is not ready to embrace uncertainty, and by the end of the
Mm-hmm.
movie, he is actually not prepared, and that's where the movie ends. So it's an open ending. So every few years I think about it, it changes in my mind कि उसका मतलब क्या है. पहले मुझे शुरू में लगा कि यार कि actually I can't remember back in the day what I thought, but it was a brilliant movie. कुछ चीजें होती हैं आपको समझ नहीं भी आती तो आपको लगता है what, it needs some time to die, to think. Unlike something when you eat, it goes into your tummy, you shit it out. I think the way it works with movies or storytelling is कि they sit in the back of your unconscious mind, and then over time,
Mm-hmm.
as time passes by, आप उनको रिवाइज करते हैं. Like Pulp Fiction to me is now a very straightforward movie. In my mind, when I look at Pulp Fiction, to me, it is a linear movie. But when back in the day I watched it, it was all cut up and पहला सीन बाद में हो
Yeah.
रहा है, फिर दूसरा सीन पहले हो रहा है, like आगे पीछे थी पूरी फिल्म. But now when you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, it's only three stories. You got the Samuel L. Jackson and uh, Samuel
Sure.
Jackson story. You got the
No,
Bruce Willis. Yeah, coming back to the
I'm
Serious Man. Yeah,
fucking
yeah, I know. I'm not going to
go
fuck
to
about it.
another
Yeah,
tangent.
yeah,
You're
yeah. I go,
fucking
yeah, I go. I completely jumped. Because to me, when I was Serious Man at that time and even now, they are not much different. Pulp Fiction and Serious Man is not much different to me. I think they're the same movies. It's just that एक में एक character, उसमें multiple characters. And
so a serious
yeah,
serious man. They did the whole idea of the movie is like uncertainty.
uncertainty. Yeah, it's about uncertainty.
He is a science professor.
Hmm.
Okay, he believes in the Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah,
He's teaching quantum physics. You
yeah.
know, and at the same time, he's trying to figure out life
Using his
as a
knowledge, yeah,
Jewish,
yeah. But from his
as a
knowledge, yeah,
Jewish.
मगर उसका knowledge को support नहीं कर रहा. जो उसका traditional
So
knowledge है
he's
support नहीं कर
he,
रहा.
he is looking at physics, numbers and fucking formulas and everything that he understands, and he even understands uncertainty, right? Now, when it comes to his own life, he's trying to understand. That's why you hear this, what the hell's going on? What's going on? And I think it's one of the
Yeah.
most I like criminally underrated movies out there. Like,
There are a lot of
um,
criminally underrated movies out there,
no,
unfortunately.
no, but this one, dude, this one is like, it's like fucking like criminally underrated because I love movies. I don't watch that many movies anymore because they all become shit until unless someone amazing is making something cool. But A Serious Man is, in my opinion, one of the most least talked about movie, but it has so much implication of what the fuck is going on. That's how most people are. Like you call your friend up, hey man, what's going on?
Hmm.
And why do we do that? Why you call your dad and say, hey, Abuji,
हाँ जी.
क्या हाल है? क्या हो रहा है? क्या हो रहा है? This is in our fucking instinct. We need to know what the fuck is going on. Meanwhile, the guy is teaching that you can never know what the fuck's going on of quantum physics.
Basically, the idea is that what the filmmaker is trying to say is that get used to the idea of being okay with ambiguity and uncertainty. Embrace the idea that you do not know anything.
So,
You're
so
nothing.
when you a
Yeah.
so when you ask me a question about climate change, I would say I don't know what the fuck. It is what it is. Now, the only thing I worry about during climate is like, okay, this is winter. So I live in Canada, so I have to worry about winter. Do I have my snow boots available when I need them? I need to have different tiers of my shoes in winter. If there's no snow, I'm wearing my sneakers. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going out to work or something. I'm just in my car, into a store, home, meetings, whatever. Get out 2 minutes on the street into a car, so it's okay. But when it's snowing, it's a light snow. I'll be wearing some blunt stones or something, right? And I know for a fact it's a huge snowstorm coming. I need my snow boots because I have to go shovel. I have to probably stay outside, or if there's no snow but it's cold as fuck, then I'm wearing my snow boots because it's keeps me warm. So I'm ready for all the potentials. I have all the tools available for this season. I'm sometimes wearing a heavy duty jacket, sometimes I'm wearing a normal jacket. Sometimes I'm wearing gloves, sometimes I'm not wearing gloves, depending on the situation. But all I need to know is it's winter. I need to have all my tools available for any fucking situation. So if you look at climate in that way, you gotta be,
Prepared.
climate fucking changes every time, every fucking time. So we know it. So now my problem with that is that just like the Jehovah's Witness, just like the Shias and Sunnis with, or the evangelicals or whatever the hell, the cult wants to make money off the doomsday. So that's my take on climate change. So coming back to our climate change conversation, yeah, I think climate changes. I'm uncertain why. I'm not a scientist. I don't indulge myself into figuring out why it changes and what's making it change. All I know is in space, in darkness, in the blackness of space, right? The Earth's moving and it's constantly changing based on gravity and stuff like this. So look at my head. So if my head is the Earth, the poles, North Pole is here, South Pole is here, and if it changes like this, you know, this area will become colder, this area will become colder, this area will become warmer, you know, before the area was warm here. So I don't know. I'm just researching. I like to read up on cosmology and shit like that.
Well,
There's some there's something called gravitational vibration that's happening from the that's
what
happening from
gravitational
the
vibration?
set. So there's so according to Einstein, okay, and I'm not a scientist. I just like to
You can butcher
research
it,
on
bro. I'm
this
ready
kind of.
for it.
Yeah, fucking, don't take my word. Go do your own research. So, according to science, is like the Earth's the universe is expanding from a center,
Right.
right? That's the theory. Now, we are on a spaceship called Earth, right? But the spaceship is not expanding in a specific direction like this. It's not like it's expanding like this. There's shakes happening. So this was, if I'm from my readings, if I'm not mistaken, Einstein has Einstein has done it. Oh, there's someone behind you.
Who's behind me?
I can hear your kid.
Oh yeah, he's in the other room, bro. That's why you can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, according to Einstein, he had this idea that there's a gravitational, or if maybe it was the Einstein, I'm not too sure, but there was some debate about gravitational vibrations. So they had sensors all around the world to look for gravitational vibration. And lo and behold, in 2018, they found out that there is gravitational vibration and it's coming from the center of the universe, according to them.
So, okay. I was about to ask you the next
So,
question. Do we know where the center is? But doesn't really matter. I guess the point you're
I
trying to
mean,
make.
uh,
Yeah.
to, to, listen, these are all theories. We see,
Well, everything is a theory until it's
you know,
proven.
I mean, Proven where?
or
How?
maybe
You
proven
know,
not.
you're
Yeah.
observing. You're observing it, right? We are observing it. Some scientist is observing it. But do we really know what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I guess the
The,
problem is that
the,
जब एक आदमी है
dude,
उसी की सुनी जाती है या वो सबसे पॉपुलर है और वो कुछ थ्योरी सामने रख देता है and there is no incentive to take that theory, dissect it and come up with another theory. Plus it takes a lifelong journey. मतलब जो एकेडमिक होता है वो पूरी जिंदगी पढ़ाई करता है, वो सब कुछ समझता है, फिर वो एक नई चीजें ब्रेकआउट करता है. आजकल we are living in a 10-minute TikTok type of environment, right? People want everything now.
no,
So
I think what the problem right now is just like the religious fanatics, we believe in religion, but we are not fanatics, right? We are not like, oh, we don't, I don't criticize people
हमारा
based
झंडा
on their
सबसे ऊंचा.
religion. I don't go, oh, Hindu साले ये होते हैं या Jews ये होते हैं. Um, I think Muslims भी ये होते हैं, Christians भी ये होते हैं. Like, there's always bad in each society. So, but the fanatics, because they're too certain about their religion or their beliefs, start having a certain belief कि, ये इनके वजह से हो रहा है.
Right.
So similarly in science, it has become that way now, that it's being used to control people because most people believe in science. They don't have any God, they don't have anything. So back in the day when we were growing up, there was science, but a lot of people were also believing in uncertainty, or they had their own certain beliefs of their own beliefs. So we need to coexist with uncertainty.
Well,
So that
yeah,
means that it needs to be a balance. It needs to be a balance of, like I say, with the Shia and Sunni thing, I'm like, तो Shia बोलते हैं कि हम जहन्नम में जाएंगे, and Sunni बोलते हैं कि Shia जहन्नम में जाएंगे.
Deobandi and all
I'm
that.
like, when
Yeah, there's all
yeah,
these
no, it
different
doesn't matter.
filters.
I'm like, if you believe I go in hell and I believe you go in hell, who the fuck is going in heaven, dude?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
General तकरीर बनाई. But
like you cannot.
I mean, ideologically, when you're talking about कि भाई back in the day, uh, religion and science both coexisted. If you look at the golden era, golden age. I mean, actually, all religions kind of had a golden age. I mean, Christianity
Even
had it,
Islam, dude.
Islam also had it. Yeah,
Hold on. Islam has the first scientist,
yeah.
the
Al
first
Jaber.
known scientist.
Is that Al Jaber? Yeah,
Huh?
Al Jaber or no?
No, not
No,
Al
he
Jaber.
was the algebra guy.
Uh, no, not Al Jaber.
Let's look him up.
He wrote. Yeah, his name is. Uh, he wrote a book on optics. He's the guy who understood light.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very interesting. Kitab. His name is.
Ibrahim Al
I
Farani.
always
No.
forget.
Is that a
It's
list of
Book
scientists
of
in
Optics.
Book of Optics?
You can search first scientist, scientific method, Islam,
So
Muslim, or something.
we got a bunch of. It's a huge list.
The first first known scientist, Book of Optics,
Book of Optics.
Kitab al-Nazar.
Kitab al-Nazir.
Ibn Haytham.
Ibn Haytham.
Ibn
Yeah.
Haytham.
Ibn al-Qatan.
So,
Qatan ya Haytham?
Z-
No.
Ibn
Abul
Haytham.
Hasan was an Imam,
Ibn
Hadith scholar,
Haytham.
intellectual time. Okay, Ibn Haytham. Let's look him up as well. I think.
Ibn Haytham.
Yeah, Ibn Haytham. Let me screen share.
Okay, so he is the first scientist, the person who created or started the idea of scientific method.
This fella here, mate. Ye banda.
Yep, yep. Ibn al-Haytham. Yep,
If you
this
look,
is the guy.
yeah, he made significant contributions to the principles of optics and visual perception.
Yep,
His
yep.
most
So,
influential Kitab al Manazir, Book of Optics.
Manazir, sorry. Yeah.
And basically इसका काम जो आइजैक और क्रिश्चियन ह्यूजेंस और गैलीलियो ने यूज किया
Dude,
to work on it.
people around the world used to come to him
Hmm.
to learn. And he is the one who started the
Yeah,
scientific method of
correct.
objectivity.
An
It was a
yeah,
Muslim.
an early pioneer in the scientific method 5 centuries before the Renaissance scientists,
Yes.
right?
So
So yeah,
he under he
he understood
he
them. He discovered it,
rediscovered
and he rediscovered it. Yeah.
no, he rediscovered camera obscura. So
Which
you
was kind of
put
lost, you
yourself in
mean,
a so apparently the Chinese knew about it
but kind of
as
got
well.
lost or
Like
something
I don't
happened.
know.
Yeah.
I haven't
Or
researched that much from
he
what I've
revitalized it probably. Yeah.
he
पढ़ना पड़ेगा
he
काफी कुछ है.
scientifically did it.
Hmm.
Because he's the guy who started the scientific method, the sci the scientific method. He's
Yeah.
the first
The
scientist,
world's first true scientist.
and he's
Yeah, it says here.
and you know, people just like the golden age. Actually, what's funny is Elon Musk. He's an amazing troll. I like him. I still you know,
Iffy about.
I'm uncertain about him. But whatever he's doing, his actions, some actions are amazing, some actions are like, what the fuck,
Yeah, trolling and weird.
right? So he went on the World Government Summit on Dubai on a video chat,
Hmm.
and he told all these sheikhs, I call him Sheikh Elon. You know why I call him Sheikh Elon? He's rich as fuck, okay? He has multiple fucking partners, and he has a lot of babies.
Yeah, he's definitely a Sheikh Elon. Yeah.
So I call him Sheikh Elon. So Sheikh Elon is talking to other sheikhs in Dubai. And he's like, hey, you know, this idea of one world government is not cool because you need diversity. You need to have different ways of doing things because just when the Roman Empire was going down, that was when the Islamic Empire, the golden age of Islam came up, and that's when we had so many scientific fucking discoveries. So it's a known fact, right? But when you talk to a Muslim guy who's like, you know, kind of atheist or whatever, they're so
You mean
mindfuck,
ex-Muslim?
right? Like they don't, no, whatever,
Any atheist, you
whatever. They
mean?
call themselves any atheist. They disregard the fact that the scientific discoveries were done by religious people. Isaac Newton was known to be a very religious person. You can research on this, check it on it. He was also into occult, dude.
Hmm.
Newton
Most
was
scientists
trying to
back then,
figure out alchemy. He
most
was
scientists or most people in the West who were at a academic level or any level, elite level, they would have these places where they would go. Because back then they didn't have Twitter, Facebook, whatever. So they had these social circles, elite groups के जहाँ, I mean, आज भी exist करता है. अभी यहाँ मेलबर्न के अंदर
no,
there are elite
but
doctor
you
societies.
can have,
Doctors hanging out with doctors, dentists
but you
hanging
can,
out with dentists.
but you can have a secret, like you can have a secret society and not be a
Yeah.
cult. Isaac Newton dabbled into alchemy
Hmm.
to figure out how to make gold, from what I've understood. From the little research I've done, you know. I'm not gonna say it's 100% true. You know, you can do your research from my fucking rabbit hole, you know, just I want to know what the fuck is happening kind of thing. I researched, I'm like, what the fuck? Alchemy? So there's a very important relationship with alchemy and the Industrial Revolution. And there's certain people who came into prominence at a specific time that push the Industrial Revolution to where we are right now. So we, anyways, coming back to the point of you know, where was I about
Yeah, the golden age, the idea that
religion?
you're saying that you have all these golden ages in different religions. उन लोगों ने religion को और science को साथ साथ लेके चला. Religious people
Yeah,
working,
we need
yeah,
a balance.
yeah.
We need a
So I mean,
balance.
I think the thing is,
It's
yeah,
always
but
about balance.
my take on it is this: regardless of how atheists view things or how very religious people, extremes, they both are extremes. Atheism is a one form of extreme of belief
Hmm.
or non-belief, and then there's one form of belief system. I think I have an entirely different view. My view is that, I mean, related in somewhat way, states, powerful states, they always had within their framework एक पाए है ना, उस पाए में different it's like a layer cake है, उसमें different layers हैं. One layer, या जैसे पाकिस्तान में आजकल लोग क्या कहते हैं कि जी आप इस्लामिक टच दें इस चीज को, आप इस्लामिक टच देंगे तो ये चीज टेक ऑफ करेगी, राइट? इस्लामिक टच देना या कोई भी आप जो रिलीजियस सोसाइटीज हैं, अगर आप सदर्न अमेरिकन स्टेट्स देखें,
Mm.
वो अपना टच देते हैं. सो बैक इन द डे ड्यूरिंग द गोल्डन एरा, द स्टेट एट एन ऑफिशियल लेवल रिकॉग्नाइज अ सर्टेन रिलीजन, वो रिलीजन को लेके चलता था, राइट? एंड दैट वाई रिलीजन पे अटैक या रिलीजन को ज्यादा क्रिटिसाइज करना, आई मीन गैलीलियो वाज पुट इनटू द जेल, राइट? बिकॉज़ ही काइंड ऑफ चैलेंज्ड findings of the religion, regardless वो believe करता हो या ना हो. He found कि भाई Vatican is wrong about certain things that they're preaching people in terms of how the world is. You know कि दुनिया जो है flat है compared to दुनिया गोल है. He said कि world is actually round, it is not flat. The universe and we revolve around the sun. That's what he said.
Who's this guy?
Galileo, the one optics. He used the same research that this guy was doing, and
Ah,
yeah. So now the thing is this: back in the day, religion was up here, and science was something that was kind of with discovery and research was catching up. अगर तो आपकी एक ऐसी डिस्कवरी है जो रिलीजन के साथ नहीं करती, नो कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट नहीं करती, तो ग्रास इज ग्रीन, द गेम इज ऑन, ब्रो, गो फॉर इट. अगर कहीं वो कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट करती है, स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग द वैटिकन टाइम, दे मेड सर्टेन इश्यूज विद इट, एंड काफी कुछ हुआ. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज नाउ governments have removed religion from the state level. I'm not saying you need to have religion in the state level. I'm just saying कि कैसी चीजें थी उस जमाने में. You had big states. Vatican was running the entire Europe, all the kings and monarchy. I mean, that guy, क्या नाम था वो, हेनरी था. He tweeted, he said, nah, fuck you guys, I'm gonna make my own church. So उसने अपनी जगह अपनी church बना ली, because he didn't like certain things the Vatican was telling him to do. So he decided, you know what, I'll have my own church. So I think that's another thing. If you look at Wahhabism and certain sects that exist, उसमें state का बहुत बड़ा एक play है. The state has a framework, और उस framework में religion वाला जो layer है, जो तड़का है दाल के अंदर, they are dictating के what it needs to be, or they have a certain model के it needs to be of this fitting. ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे चाहिए हमें. एंड नाउ द न्यू तड़का, वो पूरा लेयर जो है, वो जो क्रीम केक में ट्रेडिशनली डाली जाती थी, वो निकाल के उसी जगह पे साइंस आ गया. द वर्जन ऑफ साइंस दैट दे वांट, दिस इज साइंस, दे आर डूइंग दिस विद इट,
yeah.
दे आर पिवटिंग एंड दे आर मेकिंग देयर ओन वर्जन ऑफ साइंस, एंड दे, बट द फर्क ये है कि वो कह रहे हैं कि ये साइंस है. सो इन रियलिटी साइंस
So
ऑन इट्स,
now science has become
करेक्ट. सो
religion.
correct. So उस framework में, so in reality science on its own is not a problem. Problem is when the state got involved, it became a problem, because they took certain studies, like उनके पास दो documents हैं. One document is telling them कि भाई climate change या जो भी, one of the many issues that we have on our planet, like floods हो रहे हैं, earthquakes हो रहे हैं, 100 चीजें हो रही हैं. So they have two versions. एक research हुई है किसी यूनिवर्सिटी में, वो कह रहे हैं कि जी ये है. एक रिसर्च हुई है किसी यूनिवर्सिटी में, ये है. बट बिकॉज उनको फायदा इसको सपोर्ट करने में है, इस नैरेटिव को पुश करने में है, वो उसको पुश कर. आई थिंक अबाउट दे यूज्ड द समवॉट unknown origin, this disease that came in, how did they force people or try? In some countries they forced, in some countries they coerced, and in some countries they uh, brainwashed using research and certain tools to tell people, encourage them, okay, bhai, you need to take a certain shot or a certain something to basically do a first shot, do a second shot, all that. But regardless, try sabne kiye. Whether you go to a third world country, whether you go to a modern Western country, apart from
No,
Sweden,
sure.
I think everybody
No, we
tried.
let's stick to what we were talking about. Let's not go
Yeah,
into
but
that
no, no. What I'm
topic
saying
right
is that
now.
they use that framework, the science aspect, to push a certain agenda, to convince people कि नहीं देखो ये है.
Right.
तो पुराने जो रिलीजन के साथ आप वो नहीं करते ना. अगर आपका रिलीजन होता, अगर स्टेट एक रिलीजियस स्टेट होता, इट वुड हैव बीन वेरी हार्ड फॉर देम टू कन्विंस कि भाई आप ये कर लें, क्योंकि बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि भाई ये तो हराम है या तो ये है तो वो है. मगर जब आप साइंस लगाते हैं तो फिर आप कहते हैं कि जी वही हमारे पास रिसर्च है. वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बैठी है उधर न्यूयॉर्क में, उसने कहा है कि नहीं ये है. सो आई थिंक for religion has always been a mean to an end for the state. But the state has never been about. Dude, I was reading somewhere that Hindu during, sorry, not Hindu. In, let me retract. Maharajas, when they came to power back in the BC era, in the old India, जो भी महाराजा पावर में आता था वो एक नई version of Kama Sutra लिखवाता था. I was listening to some podcast and they were talking about this historian lady was talking about it. Okay, they used to commission a new Kama Sutra, and every time a new Kama Sutra would come, and the guy who's interviewing her, बहुत अच्छा वो है उसका podcast. उसने कहा कि भाई क्यों, why would they commission a new book every time a Maharaja comes? Why would they get a new Kama Sutra done? उसने कहा कि उनके कॉन्सेप्ट ये था दिमाग में कि जो सोसाइटी है वो फंक्शनिंग अच्छी तब होगी जब आपस में रिलेशनशिप्स लोगों के ठीक होंगे. और वो रिलेशनशिप को मैनेज करने के लिए कामा सूत्रा वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पीस ऑफ लिटरेचर. तो जो भी महाराजा आता था वो एक नई कमीशन
Hmm.
बुक कमीशन करवाता था. तो उसमें ये सारे चीजें जो है वेदास वगैरह वो सब अपनी जगह पे है, मगर जो ओवरऑल जो ट्रेडिशंस हैं, कल्चर्स हैं, जो रिचुअल्स हैं, तो देखना शादियां किस तरह होती हैं. आप एक स्टेट छोड़ के दूसरे स्टेट चले जाएं, शादी का थोड़ा सा चेंज हो जाता है जैसे शादी होती है. मैं पाकिस्तान में गया था, I went to Karachi. The way they marry over there is very different from, not very different, but slightly different from the way they do it in Punjab, in Lahore.
हम हम तो
हम तो
ये
ऐसा कर
ऐसा
रहे हैं.
करते हैं. हम
अब same thing with the azans and all that, like depending on from फिरका to फिरका. So I feel कि वो एक फ्रेम हर वक्त जब भी स्टेट कंट्रोल में रहा है, एक फ्रेमवर्क रहा है, उस फ्रेमवर्क में रिलीजन ने एक रोल प्ले किया. मगर फर्क ये है कि अब उन्होंने और रिलीजन भी चेंज होता है. अब तो इफ यू लुक एट ईरान और एनी ऑफ द अदर कंट्रीज, दे हैव अ डिफरेंट वर्जन ऑफ हाउ दे फ्रॉम अ स्टेट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लुक एट रिलीजन. अब आप इधर आ जाओ, इन मॉडर्न कंट्रीज जहां हम सेकुलर हो गए हैं, they are using science and a certain kind of a moral science which is made up in the offices of all these big governments, जहाँ वो बैठ के बोलते हैं कि भाई ये गलत है, ये सही है. Some of it we inherited from culture or religion, and some of it जहाँ कोई पुराना एग्जाम्पल नहीं है, they base on a study. कहते हैं कि जी हमने वो 500 कैंडिडेट्स को या 1000 लोगों का हमने वो किया है सर्वे, और उसमें ये रिजल्ट निकला है, सो वी आर गोइंग विद दैट. अब वो who's checking that ki this paperwork that you've done, or this research you come out, who's checking that? Nobody. Government उसमें अपनी stamp लगा रही हो, कह रही है कि सही है. So that is, I think, what is going on. It's always been like that, but I think,
Mhm.
anyway, another thing that I wanted to ask you about recently is, I guess you being an entrepreneur, doing your own thing, working for yourself. What is it that you think that from an outsider perspective, someone who does his own thing, you've obviously dealt with people who work for a living to pay their mortgage and all that stuff,
Mhm.
to be in debt, you know,
Mhm.
have 10, 15 fucking credit cards. What is it that makes people be so comfortable with the idea of working for someone else? Working for someone is not bad. I mean, you have workers who work for you, But what is that thing that is stopping that person from becoming entrepreneur? Is it, do you think the state has a role to play in it? Do you think it's a family thing, family system? Or is it just up to that person themselves? Or could be genetic? क्योंकि certain families होती हैं, they are business
Um,
oriented, तो उनके बच्चे business oriented होते हैं, and vice versa.
so there's this amazing song by Bob Dylan. You know Bob Dylan? He has this cool song. It's called "Gotta Serve Somebody,"
Mm.
right? So it's like how the lyrics go. You may be the Lord, you may be the devil, but you gotta serve somebody. So I think that the difference between a entrepreneur or an independent businessman is that they serve, but the it depends on the price. It depends on the freedom, right? When you are working for someone, you might be getting a constant pay. You know, you're getting constantly. You know, you
आपके
are
अकाउंट में
good.
पैसे आ रहे हैं, every fortnightly,
You
monthly आपको पैसा आ रहा है, बस
yeah,
परफॉर्मेंस हो ना हो जो
yeah.
भी है.
You have no. I mean, performance is there. It depends on the job, but you know that you don't have to. You have to excel in one specific thing that you are hired to do, right? The rest of it will be taken care by the organization, and it's a machine that's working. What's it called? One of the gears in the machine that's making the machine
Right.
work. And then there's internal politics, blah blah blah, whatever. When you're working for yourself, there's always this level of uncertainty, right? That you need to be comfortable with, you know. You got to do all of it. You need to understand the system. You need to figure shit out, you know, shit that you might not, your expertise might not be in it, but you have to figure out
It's like
almost
trying to
everything in it
it's like trying to
to
build
make it
and
work.
fly at the same time. It's like you're building a plane that can take off in the air.
I mean, that's the famous meme, right? Like an entrepreneur is one who's falling down and is trying to figure out how to fly while falling down. But I think that um, any businessman, the reason they take the risk, they need to be completely informed about reality, right? Because they have to survive in a situation where uh, every macro to micro factors, you know, micro factors comes to his own life, his own surroundings, you know, around him, and the macro factors is what's happening around the world. There's no filter. There's no boss in the middle. You're the boss. You have to fight all of it. So the reason I feel that most people are okay with it is because they have been programmed to do that from the day they were
Okay
born,
with
you
you
know?
mean working for
Because
someone else?
especially like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean like think about it. When you're in school, you have to do homework.
You're not in charge of your own
You have
learning.
to be in the good
They tell you what you need to learn. Yeah.
yeah, so y- your teacher, you need to be in the good books of your teacher, you know? You you have to do exactly what the teacher is telling you to get the marks. You get the marks, you get, you know, shabashi and you get the star, you
Right.
know, the sticker. Like, hey, good job, you know. An entrepreneur doesn't care about that. So because entrepreneur is like, what the fuck is this? You know, I think this is stupid. It's boring. Why am I here?
Right.
I should be having fun.
Right.
right? Because an entrepreneur will always usually do, like most entrepreneurs, the fun they have is having as much money as possible. Most of them, right? Like, hey, as long as I'm making the most money I want, then I can do whatever the fuck I want, and I have my own machine. Um, but there's another sect of entrepreneurs that do what they want to do because they want to have fun while doing it, right? So I think most people who work 9 to 5, they're just comfortable. They want to do. They just want to have a comfortable existence, you know. And if it means that they have to persevere, like I have all, like I respect 9 to 5 job workers, like they don't want the bullshit reality the way an entrepreneur has to face, which is cool. As long as they're doing a good job, they're fulfilling their, like they are not cheating on the job. They're doing the best
Adding
they
value.
can. They're adding value, because they're getting paid irrespective. Um, but the way the economy is going, I feel that most most people who are working will not give a fuck about it because it's a losing war, you know. You can't, like, this is the dream, right? Like our fire, you know. What's the fire? What's it
Oh
called?
yeah,
The
yeah.
fire.
The
I
retire
heard
early.
this term,
Yeah, financially independent, retire early. Fire. The whole concept
right?
of like
So,
you put all your money in the stock
so
market, and you know, and if you're diligent over time, after six,
yeah.
7, 10 years of you doing that, you will be independent financially.
So the impending economic collapse that's happening is because most 9 to 5ers who had cushy jobs started making a lot of money, and because they were not independent, they had a lot of money, and they knew that this money has no value. They started getting into shit that they have no understanding about, right? Or like, oh, this guy is doing it, I'll do it. Like flipping homes. I make $150,000 a year. I get a good credit. I've paid half of my house anyways. Um, I can get the down payment by getting equity off my house. Like taking a loan over my refund, taking a loan over my house, get another house, and then that's how they keep on building debt. Um, I can't hear you, man.
The other
I
thing is
can't hear
that
you.
they've embraced that. They have embraced the idea of कि जितना पैसा दे रही है बैंक दे रहा है, debt, being in debt is the way out of this whole thing. They convince themselves that it's okay.
Which
Yeah,
is it?
it's okay. Just play the musical chair. As long as मैं आखिरी आदमी, if I'm not the one left holding the bag, I'll be fine. The whole idea is that they're all gamblers. In
Right.
reality, this bad governance and the printing of money and the idea itself that the only way out of this whole mess is to take even more money. This whole Robert Kiyosaki kind of thinking, na, कि, get as much as money as possible from the
Yeah.
bank. बैंक अगर 800,000 800,000 दे रहा है ले लो, बैंक 2 million दे रहा है ले लो, and then they think that they're smart enough that this whole musical chairs will keep going, and at the end of the day they will sell out, take all that money, and they're out of debt. I mean, some dream escape.
So see, so I mean, because they're looking micro, right? They're only looking for themselves. They say, hey, listen, I don't give a fuck. Like me, everybody else is doing it. I'm
Yeah.
doing it too. how will this impact in a macro level? They don't see because they don't experience it. Are they are oblivious of the macro issues
Or
until
is
it
it too
starts
hard, man?
hitting
It's just too hard for
them
them, For
hard.
some people, it's just too hard. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's too hard. It's just that they have
Accept kar liya.
they do not want
They've
to see.
accepted. Yeah.
They So for example, I'll give you a good example, all right? So around my home on intersections, there are a lot of homeless people, right? And I'm not in the main city, I'm like in a suburb. But whenever I see a homeless person around my house, I go, fuck. Even though it's a bad month for me as a business, I'm like, fuck, I don't have that much money. I'm gonna still pay this guy $10. What he does with that $10 is none of my business. You know, he is in meth, he does whatever, so many people. Oh, why are you paying these
Especially
people?
when I
These
go to
people go
Pakistan
and
and
take
people
drugs
knock on the
and this
glass
and
and you give them money, the same thing. My cousins, they all tell me the same thing. आप क्यों उमर भाई को पैसे दे रहे हो? ये लोग तो ऐसे हैं, ये करते हैं. And
yeah. So I mean, Pakistan is a different animal. So let's stick to Western countries. So the reason I give, and somebody told me, I'm like, it's because if this person doesn't have the money to buy meth, he's gonna start fucking
it's kind of an insurance policy. Yeah,
trying to fucking
mug
mug
people.
people.
और
So why
वो
not I
हमारे
just pay
नेबरहुड
him a
में ही
little
है
bit?
जो वो करेगा क्योंकि system has obviously failed him. Yeah.
So I I'm looking at macro level. I'm like, the amount of poor people outside. So these people who have these cushy jobs, they justify themselves of not thinking about the macro issues because they say, hey, the government will handle it. But they don't understand that you are
On your own. Yeah.
yourself responsible for what happens because you're part of you're a small denomination in the big picture. Your actions is gonna lead to a specific result because a lot of people will be doing the same thing. So yeah, 9 to 5ers, they're comfortable because they only look micro. They just look for themselves. I'm not saying all of them, mostly financial. I'm not talking about culture. I'm not talking like people don't do. I'm sure people who make a lot of money, they go do charities. I'm not saying no. What I'm saying is this idea of taking loans because you have a cushy job is a factor to why people other it's affecting the macro
Yeah.
level economics without them realizing it because the people who want them in debt
They're
are
the ones who
happy.
are actually making money.
They're
Yeah.
happy that these people
Yeah.
are taking debt. They always make money. Right now in Canada, some people are not able
ब्रो
to pay
कल
their
न्यूज में
mortgages.
आया एबीसी न्यूज जहाँ का जो नेशनल ब्रॉडकास्ट सर्विस है that in the last in the history of Australia this year the salaries went up by the least percentage. मतलब हर वक्त जब भी महंगाई हुई है सैलरीज ऊपर गई इस दफा सैलरीज सबसे कम ऊपर गई सो सैलरीज नॉट कीपिंग अप विद द इन्फ्लेशन.
So what these people are doing, they're taking deferral on their loans, on their mortgages. That means where the amortization is 25 years, 30 years, depending on the deal they made, they are extending it to 40. So imagine if you're a 50-year-old, finally were able to buy a house. You have to be 90 until you become debt free from just
Yeah,
the residence.
from your primary mortgage.
Because right now you're 50, you have 10 to 15 years left for your retirement. The most money you're paying, 80% of it is going as interest. because you just deferred it. You're making lower payments, but that doesn't mean it's going towards your principal. It's just going towards your interest. People are
Yeah.
okay with it. People are alright with it. They're like, fuck it. There are people who take loans over
Yeah,
their
yeah, but
house two
their whole
times, three
concept is that
times.
the एक घर का प्राइस अगर लेट्स से मैंने 800 का घर लिया है 10 साल में वो घर 800 से 1.5 या 1.6 मिलियन का होगा सो आई कैन डिफर एवरीथिंग एंड अल्टीमेटली आई कैन ऑलवेज सेल आउट take the cash and then go buy a cash property but it never happens what they do is they take that extra money and buy a second or a
But
third house
that's
greed आया था ना
they don't see macro.
yeah
Macro. If if these people see macro, they will not do stupid shit.
yeah
If they hold on to their
yeah
homes, don't take fucking refinancing, keep their lifestyle in check. And the money they are making, instead of fucking investing into the same shit that every
yeah
other fucking
and they're
Tom,
all
Dick,
selling
and Harry
houses
is
to each
doing,
other
and
in the
go
same
and fuck,
economy
yeah,
ऐसा नहीं को बाहर से आके ले रहा है
yeah,
yeah
and fucking go spend that money in the economy, you know, and fucking enjoy life. You're helping poor people by spending that money, so the poor people start making money. If you don't take a lot of loan, you're helping younger people to have some value into their low income, you know? Like every time they want to increase minimum wage, right? Minimum wage is the biggest fucking bullshit, right? Because you cannot set, like in a free market, you can't set a
like
minimum
universal
wage.
basic
You
income
shouldn't.
भी डिस्कस किया जा रहा है
That, oh, that's another animal. But let's say minimum wage is
like as a
the most
waitress for
stupidest
example
shit
there's a minimum
I've
wage
heard.
of let's say I don't know,
This,
$10 or $12
so these minimum wage people who want minimum wage hate corporations, but they don't understand that the minimum wage is helping the corporations they hate because there's no competition coming.
yeah
You get what I mean? Is there's no competition because the competition has to take a lot of loan to compete with the biggest fucking players out there who can outcompete anybody. There's, I think, I don't know if it's for sure, but Starbucks, for example, if they open up a, in this hipster neighborhood, and all these hipsters who have coffee shops, and then tomorrow the Starbucks goes, you know what? If you take a bagel, we'll give you fucking coffee for free.
they're doing that in Melbourne you
What
scan
happens
you
to all the
scan what do you call a code and you get a free coffee you do a survey or something they give you a free coffee
who's that hurting? The same
who
hipsters,
ask for a minimum pay
which
Hmm.
so these it's a cuckoo world. So you have to research on something called algorithm.
algorithm you mean it's based off
No, not algorithm. Algorithm. If you go on Wikipedia,
algorithm yeah screen share bro. Algorithm is a social philosophy that advocates creating a society in which all relations between people are voluntary exchanges by means of counter economics, engaging with aspects of non-violent revolution. Hmm.
so if you go down, if you go scroll down and zoom in, there's a table, and it will give you exactly what the fuck is
This
happening.
one here,
Yeah, this particular one. Zoom in. Yeah.
so
So, oh,
it's coming.
where did it go?
Is this the one?
So on, yeah. So Konkan was a Canadian, by the way, from Alberta. So he had this entrepreneur, good innovator, risk taker, producer, the strength of a free market, non-statist, capitalist, neutral, holders of capital, not necessarily ideologically aware, relatively drone-like non-innovators. Status capitalists, bad.
The primary.
The primary beneficiaries of government controls, the main evil in the political realm. So now, I would I would say that Elon
Yeah.
Musk is an entrepreneur. Most of the laptop class is a non-status capitalist, and most of the banks are status
Laptop class, you
capitalists.
mean like people working in the IT sector and all that? Job conversion.
Like, I mean, the people who sit at home or sit in an office
And
and
status
make a
capitalists,
lot of money.
obviously, crony capitalists, people who are in the cahoots with the pants of the
Yeah,
government. Yeah. But then again, right? I guess
yeah.
it's been a thing in हमारा एक mutual friend है. We'll probably get him on. He's a big he was a big anarcho-capitalist, but now he's a socialist. I'm not sure. I think we need to question him. But the man and he changes every five
I
years,
know you're talking about.
6 years, right? Yeah.
I th- I think he's a true
He
communist.
started as a communist, I think, but then it changed over time. Yeah, and then
He hasn't
it's like a
changed.
loop. He goes from कुछ होते हैं ना
His
हमारे दोस्त हैं वो start क्योंकि look at understand when you're born in Dubai and those kind of places, right? When you see so much, uh, 'cause you have to understand. Yeah,
pure
when you see
capitalism.
so much materiality, consumerism, and all those things, and that yes, it is capitalistic, but you're still seeing certain things that don't gel properly because it's a very artificial environment as well. And from there, when you go in back to the diaspora, ज्यादातर जो वहाँ expats हैं वो सब continent से आते हैं उठ के इंडिया पाकिस्तान श्रीलंका उठ के. आप जब वहाँ जाते हो as a kid, you see this huge difference between both these places. And you think, yeah, why is it happening? And sometimes it leads you down this garden path. Alice in the Wonderland kind of situation, jahan you get hooked on to someone like Che Guevara or a Marxist or whatever. Yeah, so basically you go to extremes. It's like all these, people who come to Australia, मैंने बहुत notice किया. People come here and they become very religious. You know, when they come here, they're normal people, like like us. I don't know. I don't know who the hell would we want to be like us, but long story short, they're just a common person. They believe in the same values that kind of been passed down to them from their parents. कि भी बेटा देखो ऐसा मत करना, ऐसा करना, keep your head down. A good citizen, a good citizen. They come here trying to be a good citizen, and then their body or their mind or whatever has this cognitive reflex action, you know, and वो reaction के चक्कर में they become either more statist or they become more religious. To me, it's all the same. If it's science, then they become even more scientific. It's like um, we I have a few friends who are very big supporters of the Green Party in Australia, and
Mm.
one of my friends told me that you'll see the sign of someone who supports the Green Party. Most of them are from urban areas. बिकॉज दे लिव इन अर्बन एरियाज. वो लोग ये हाई राइज अपार्टमेंट में रहते हैं और वो लाइफ जब देखते हैं कि कितनी क्लीन है, बहुत ऑर्डरली है, ट्रक विल कम, विल पिक अप योर फकिंग बिन, डंप द फकिंग ट्रैश इन द बैक एंड मूव ऑन. रात को एक और ट्रक आएगा, वो सड़क साफ करने वाला होगा. फिर एक हफ्ते के बाद एक और बंदा आएगा अपने वो
Mm.
उसमें क्या कहते हैं, यूट में, इसको यहाँ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में यूट कहते हैं. इट्स लाइक अ पिकअप बट विद अ ट्रे एट द बैक, लाइक इट्स लाइक अ 4x4 व्हाटएवर. पीछे एक ट्रे होगी मेटल की.
Yeah, it's like a
या या
car
ट्रे,
with a fucking
एंड
tray.
मगर उसमें उस पर डिग्गी होगी पूरी. That's what you call a ute. And they look like sport cars or sedans and all that, right? उसमें से वो अपना लॉन मोवर निकालेगा, गार्डनर जो होगा वो गार्डनिंग करेगा. Like everything is in order, everything, there's no chaos. So what happens is to them when they come here, they see these certain freedoms. I'm sorry, I'll track back. They are living in these high-rise apartments. They're young, and they feel that they want to use. So keyboard warrior भी कहते हैं. They want to use the keyboard to make a difference. They feel like the job needs to mean something. They, मतलब मैं कोई activism करूं जिससे मैं changes कर सकूं. And the easiest way is to support the Green Party. And उसमें without the idea of doing any simple mathematics कि भाई डेफिसिट क्या होता है, बजट क्या होता है, हमारी ट्रेजरी पैसा कैसे बनाती है, टैक्सेस कैसे काम करते हैं. They are like, no, we need to keep refugees happy. We need to get all the refugees to come in. We need to open our borders, let everybody in. We need to give everybody a job. हर एक के पास जॉब होनी चाहिए, regardless वो पढ़े लिखे हो ना हो, regardless वो मेहनती हो ना हो. And you know, doesn't matter. Everybody needs to be getting everything. Everybody should have a house. Everybody should have a car.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a minimum wage. Everybody should have everything. You know, and everybody's kid needs to have the best education possible. Everybody needs to be on the same level. Take from the rich, give to the poor. Take from the poor, give it to
Mm.
the homeless. You know, like the whole thing is going on, right? So that is where, and
Right.
you know what? They come from a good place. मतलब they actually come from the right place. Intention सही है, but ultimately it doesn't work. Like I feel sorry.
Information
I
low है.
feel coming like if you think about it, I was talking about how these wolves they hunt down a caribou, right? I feel sorry for the caribou and you know the caribou's family, but that is the nature. Nature is कि अगर मैं नहीं खाऊंगा तो बहन चोद मेरी फैमिली को भी कोई और खा जाएगा, right? I mean that's how the wild works, right? So thing is that you can't have everything. You can't have complete open immigration, but at the same time you want to keep everybody to have this good salaries as well, and everybody has to home. Just it's not science. It's not even mathematically sound. अगर आप खाली पेपर के ऊपर calculate करें, it doesn't make sense. But there are people who are forcing their opinion, their version of the truth on other people.
Yeah.
So it is a sad
It's
situation.
sad. It's sad. I call them low information. They don't want to research, and if they do research, they will look it from the point of view like they won't go into the truths. They will just go into the things that
Hmm.
they believe
And
is
I think
true.
that's what enables the whole idea of handouts. You know, कि मतलब they ask कोई भी problem है आपकी family में, आपकी life में, या something that is in your control, that like you can take responsibility for. You're asking the government to do it. You know, it's like I'm a fat fuck, right? I'm sitting eating donuts and you know I'm eating fucking fried chicken or whatever. If I don't take charge of myself and I get sick, I can't expect the government to look after me. Doesn't work like that, right? So yeah,
Dude, that the only thing nobody can do for you is
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
make yourself thin. Like you need to exercise.
That's why they're coming
Nobody
along
can
with this
save you
whole thing,
from that.
fat acceptance now.
I would
All these fat supermodels.
you should you should you should avoid drinking from plastic bottles,
By
man.
the way, it says it's BPA free, but then again, is it? How do you
Eh,
know?
no, not that. It
They
might be
might be
BPA
coming through the
free,
same
but
system that
it's
has
just
BPA.
that
No, no.
no. It's just when you know plastic
Mm.
is not good for your body,
You told me that before as
try
well.
to avoid anything that you consume to have plastic in it, like any utensil,
I got an idea.
avoid
Why don't we
plastic.
continue to do this podcast, get
Glass,
a sponsor,
glass.
and that sponsor gives us a good bottle that I can drink from, and then we can even promote that. A man can dream, bro. बंदा ख्वाब तो देखता है ना, ख्वाब तो
No,
देखता
you sound like a capitalist.
है, बंदा ख्वाब तो
You
देखता
sound
है.
like a capitalist
हाँ.
who's doing green
Um,
stuff. No, but see, I agree with you. So coming back to our
like why people are
original point
comfortable. I mean, that's where
is
we
that
started. कि comfortable क्यों है? क्योंकि यार अभी जब
so
layoffs आएंगे, no, I know
people are
you
comfortable
answered
because
that. My leading question to that was कि okay, ठीक है, we understand that why people are comfortable. I mean, in our view, but don't you think उसके side effects ये सारे हैं, where they're more reliant on the government to do things because they're working not 9 to 5, they're working from 9 to 10 now. People are working even, yeah, इतने workaholics in Australia. I mean, I don't know about Canada, but dude, if you pull up research on the internet, also you'll find out. Dude, I went to Pakistan. My people in the family, cousins, in-laws, they all. My father-in-law came to visit, and he told me कि यार तुम लोग बहुत काम करते हो. He was astounded the amount of work we do. Like I get up 8 in the morning, and we go work, and then we work right till sunset or till 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Okay, बेटा तुम लोग बहुत काम करते हो. used to tell my wife and me कि you guys work a lot. मैंने कहा अंकल यहाँ ऐसे ही है, मेहनत भी तो करनी पड़ेगी ना, पाकिस्तान नहीं है कि आप बैठे हैं जी आराम से 11 बजे शटर खुल रहा है, ठीक है ना 3 बजे 4 बजे काम किया, उठ के आगे जी पीछे मजदूर काम कर रहा है, ऐसे नहीं है. That's why your economy is the way it is. That's why our economy is the way it is. But again, look at their lifestyle. I guess they don't have that kind of housing. Yes, they might have the freedoms, मगर ना वहाँ बिजली टाइम पे आती है ना पानी टाइम पे आता है. I guess there is no more comparison we can make. But just living within the West, if we compare Australia to Canada or America, whatever, the main thing I've noticed it's a different animal. That whole
Pakistan
area.
is a
So
different
the
animal,
but I
bro.
guess these are the only relatable things I can think of because the reflection that I get or feedback that I get is from people who from that side of the pond or that side of the world. Coming back to
Mm-hmm.
the idea that number one, why people are comfortable. Second, do you feel that there are side effects to that comfort apart from asking for handouts and help from the government? The main side effect is this कि जब layoffs होते हैं, अभी recently tech में इतने layoffs हुए, मैं सुना हो Microsoft है, Google है, and there's a very nice Instagram or a YouTube
Yeah.
short, short कहते हैं उसको, वो जो 10-second TikTok जो भी है, उसके पे एक
Yeah,
लड़की
whatever.
है,
Yeah.
I discovered her on the
Mm.
internet, and उसका नाम है, I think she is South Indian, उसका है आयुष श्रद्धा नाम है उसका. So she did this whole rant for 3 minutes where she talks about she's been laid off, so she does this whole rant. Yeah,
Oh,
so
so sad,
she does
so
this whole
sad.
rant and she talks about how for other people's dreams they hired these people because they want to keep the investors happy. Oh, we're going to Mars, that kind of stuff. And now all of a sudden they realize कि okay, ये जो हमने predictions की थी, they're not going to pan out. So we need to cut off all these departments. So the other thing is regardless कि देखो जब तलवार गिरती है जॉब जानी है तो जानी जानी है, but the idea is कि are you actually self equipped with even a side hustle or some kind of entrepreneurial मतलब are you आप adaptable हो कि अगर आपको जॉब से निकाल दिया जाए you're able to actually stand on your feet, you're able to go hustle and keep yourself float until you get the next big gig or the next gig that you're looking for. There's a lot of people who have worked for 20, 30 years in a company and if they're let go, they could not even. But there is a woman at work. Tell you a bit of a story so you get an idea where I'm trying to come from. There was a woman much senior to me who they made announcements that they're gonna let a certain number of people go, and her name was on the list. I guess she's part of that group. मगर अब तक उन्होंने अनाउंस नहीं किया कि कौन रहेगा कौन जाएगा इस ग्रुप में से. So she got worried. She was in the company for 18 years or something, and she came to me and she said that let me go. Do you have any role in your area? ये वो. मैंने कहा यार मेरे एरिया में तो कुछ नहीं है और मैं को बहुत बड़ा इधर फड्डू खान नहीं हूँ तो I'm sorry. I mean I can't really help you. I'm not in power. And I said, okay, what I can do is help you with the resume and everything, so that if you, because I recently got into work and I've been, on the game with it with LinkedIn and everything. She was an older lady and she needed help in terms of कि भाई LinkedIn बनाना ये सब जो चीजें करनी होती हैं चूतापा
Yeah.
करना होता है to move on to your next role. You can make yourself more marketable and everything. How about I help you with that? She said, yeah. So I locked in time with her and I spent like about 2 sessions, an hour each. First, getting her to build her resume and giving her feedback. उसको अपना resume print करके लेके आई. I gave her some notes. मैंने कहा देखो, ultimately you're older than me, but just to make it more fancy and a bit more modern, I can help you here. But ultimately, you have enough experience. तो बाहर जाओगे तुम्हें job मिल जाएगी. But just anxiety of going out there. I've never given an interview. 18 साल हो गए मुझे. मैं तो, I've been moving in the company from one position to another without having to do any hustle or anything. मैंने कहा देखो आपको step तो करना पड़ेगा. LinkedIn भी करके दिया, सारा कुछ उसने किया. Then announcements happened. Announcement happened, and she survived. And then I went to see her, and she told me I survived, Umar. And they didn't lay me off, so I'm still here. I said, that's good. So now you should continue. LinkedIn profile तेरा बना हुआ है, resume. You should continue looking in the market. क्या है? Because you've done the hard part. You think this? मैंने बोला ये तो खुश होना चाहिए इस बात को लेके कि भाई तुम्हें एक ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली जिस pushed you and put you into that uncomfortable zone जहाँ तुमने जाके सोचेगा यार कि चलो मैं अपने लिए कुछ करूँ. But you know what she did? She said, Omar, I'll get back to you.
Mm.
I will get back to you and I will work on this with you. और उस बात को अब 4 साढ़े 4 साल हो चुके हैं. I never saw her again. वो मेरी बिल्डिंग में ही काम करती थी जहाँ मैं काम करता था. But you can understand that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
क्या कहते हैं, disaster averted. You know, earthquake आया मगर उतना बड़ा मैग्नीट्यूड का नहीं था. हम बच गए. Fuck it. अब अगले earthquake पे देखा जाएगा, right? So she basically all that now is lying in her mailbox. वो सारी मेहनत जो उसने की सारे कहने जो पुश आया है मगर
Mm-hmm.
वो वहां तक नहीं आया. पानी आया यहाँ तक खाली फिर वापस नहीं चला गया, right? So she got comfortable. So there are people who go right to
Mm-hmm.
the edge. मतलब वो बिल्कुल ऐसे सिचुएशन में चले जाते हैं जहां उनको लगता है कि भाई अब मैं नहीं बचने वाला. बट जैसे उनको पता चलता है कि they've survived, they go back to their old habits. It's like the doctor says कि you're gonna get cancer. You know, we found something. You might have cancer. Let's do this test and let's see. फिर आप जब तक वो अगला टेस्ट नहीं होता तब आप एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हो, सब कर रहे होते
But
हैं.
that,
और फिर जैसे वो टेस्ट का रिजल्ट आता है, go back to
okay,
normal.
but yeah, but you know, in her defense,
Yeah,
that's the
I know.
lifestyle
But it
she
is sad to
chose.
see that someone who it's like Whiplash,
Because if she was
you
an
know,
entrepreneur,
the movie Whiplash.
but dude, that's the lifestyle they chose. If they were entrepreneurs, they would not be doing that. They would be like, hey, I'm making a
True.
lot of money. I'm not gonna buy a Louis Vuitton purse to come and show it off to my girlfriends
Yeah,
at work.
there might be
I'm
someone
gonna
who's very
save that
thrift
money
and yeah.
because no, I'm just giving you an example. The based on your income, you expand
Expenditure.
your what do you say expenses, right? So many people live like that. I live like that, right? If I'm making good money this year, I'll spend money. If I'm not making money, I won't spend money, right? The point is that you have a limited time in life. You gotta enjoy it. So people take that chance. They believe in, like, for example, best example, uh, like for example, during COVID, a lot of people who were in the jobs, they got straight from home to Zoom, whatever, whatever you guys call it. So they left the city,
Home to Zoom, work from home.
bought houses,
But it's a good one. Home to Zoom actually
yeah,
makes sense.
whatever.
Yeah. It actually
So
makes sense to say home to Zoom. Yeah, it makes sense.
home to, yeah. So they bought houses. They were so much into the belief that things are not gonna change back to normal that they made a such a big decision in their life that they started buying homes. Like you gotta think, like if I have to buy a house, I have to think 3 times before I buy a house because I'll be like, do I know this market? What are the people around me? Where do I work? What's the best
True.
location? Right? It takes a lot of time to make a make a decision on purchase of a house. These people in 2020 and 2021 went out of the city and bought houses thinking that this gravy train is not gonna be over, right? Now I'll buy the house, I'll be on the job because fuck, they need me, right? The people like the money is for free anyways, right? Like I'm getting fucking all this money. It's nothing's gonna happen. So these people are the believers. They start believing the BS and then they make those decisions. And then these are the same people when they get hurt, they will be like, oh, look at this. These people duped us. You got duped by them. You are at fault too. The duper is a duper, right? Like वो बोलते हैं ना, the the bigger fool is the one who follows the fool, you know. So if you follow the idiots, then you are the bigger idiot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You get what I mean? So, so these people, and I don't want to shit on them. I'm not saying all people are like that, but most people don't see it that way. They just go on with the same narrative, and then when shit hits the fan, they go back to, like you
Yeah, I
said,
guess
they
there are
go back to
trend.
the
Yeah, I guess
government
there
and
are
like, hey,
trendsetters,
help
and then
us.
there are the ones who follow the trends.
Yeah. So entrepreneurs, in my opinion, always tend to, they're usually contrarians, right? Like they seek it. Oh, the wave's going this way. But like for example, me, I had a Jeep Wrangler. I was looking at a Wrangler since a young age, and I was just not happy with the new Jeep because it had a fucking van engine in it from 2006 to 2012. Until they came up with a new engine, I was like, this is amazing. I'm gonna buy it. And a lot of people around me were like, Asif, you're stupid. It's fucking amazing. I'm like, yeah, but everybody's got a Land Cruiser,
Right.
right? I don't want to, I need something that, the roof comes off. It's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, but the reliability. I'm like, have you owned it? No. Okay, so let me own it. It's less than half the price of a Land Cruiser, right? I don't need 7 seats, right? I'm gonna use it in the desert, and in the city, I will have the rooftop off, and enjoy the fucking
Right.
cabriolet, all the fucking air pollution. So, um, I bought it. Back then, nobody wanted to buy it. And then I started giving it to all my friends. I'm like, hey, you want to ride it? Take it for a day. Give me your car. They ride it. They go, fuck, this is amazing. It drives so nice. And then now they look at it and they go, how many times did you go to the garage? I'm like, none. Zero. Why? Well, I change my oil on time. Anything goes wrong, I change it right away. How much does it cost? It's as much as a Land Cruiser because the labor cost is the same. It's the same dealership that deals with it. So the cost is the
So,
same.
what model is it? What year?
Actually
Like,
cheaper because it's 2012.
so,
So
yeah.
2012 they had a new engine which
So
was
the
much more
generation.
powerful and
So
much more
now, what
reliable.
generation they're selling? Yeah.
Now, now every fucking Tom, Dick and Harry has a fucking Jeep. I'm not interested in it because everybody's got one,
Yeah, performance
you
has
know.
a performance drop though. Do you think these cars are
It's
still of that quality? Because I looked at the V8
no,
Land Cruiser, bro.
no.
This new fucking diesel ones that they're coming out
Jeep,
with, the turbo
Jeep,
ones,
Jeeps,
Zappo.
Jeeps, Jeeps are uh, the most value retained in a vehicle. Is the most, what's the right word for it? Right, as of 2023, Jeeps have the most, it retains the most value than any other car out there when you buy brand new,
All right.
because everybody wants one. So my point is that sometimes
Yeah.
you have to take the
Yeah, when
leap
it comes to tech,
and do something
especially,
interesting and different.
I have always believed in the idea of early adoption. So, like, I mean, yes, there are like not that many electric cars on the road, but I just said, fuck it, I'll get into it, use it, see how it works. So, basically, yeah,
Bro, wait, hold on.
yeah.
You're not an
No, in
early
Australia, I
adopter.
mean,
First of all,
no, Australia, I mean, it's
early
like,
adopters went to. Are
what do
you
you mean?
paying for your supercharge?
I pay at home. I got it at home.
Are you paying for your supercharge? No, no, no. But if you go to a
Yeah.
supercharger, do you have to pay?
Oh, those guys who
Okay,
got it
then
for
you're
free.
not an
Yeah, they
early
got free
adopter.
charging.
Because an early adopter. So I look at it this way. When Tesla started giving free
No,
supercharger,
definitely.
that
Yeah,
those were
but
the
those
early
cars, bro,
adopters.
they,
They
you
said,
know
hey,
what the
listen,
cost was? So
you
it's kind of
you
included into it. If you drive 70, 80,000 dollars, yeah,
I know, I know, but
definitely, yeah.
that's
I mean, to
early.
me,
Those are early adopters.
yeah, I
You
understand
you
your
are
point. Yeah, I understand. Okay, yeah,
You're not
actually,
an early
it's like those
adopter
people. It's like
in
those
tech.
people who buy the first
So
iPhone
it's
when it
it's
launched.
like,
That's early adopter compared to someone buying an iPhone at the third or the fourth. So yeah, maybe I'm not an early adopter. Yeah,
yeah, if I buy
I'm on
iPhone
more on the
5,
mid
then
mid
I'm not
side.
an early adopter.
Yeah, I'm like one of those
Yeah,
initial waves of customers who order once. It's kind of
it's
just early mainstream.
it's like this. So I didn't like electric cars at all, because of my paranoia of the control. So I was like, I'm never gonna buy an electric car. And then the Cybertruck comes out. And the moment the Cybertruck comes out, I see it. It comes on stage and I'm watching live because it's like fucking truck, yeah? This is the biggest, most selling vehicle in the market. Let's see what Tesla comes out with. I look at the design and I go, fuck, I'm buying it right now. I go online, place the order right away. And all the Tesla fanboys, right? All the Tesla fanboys, they go, oh, what the
Ugly.
fuck is
Yeah.
this? This
Mm.
looks weird. It's shit, right? So I, the moment I see the design, I buy it. I buy it not because of its
It's
electricness.
just gangster. It's a
I
very
don't give a
gangster
fuck about
product.
that.
Yeah.
When I
I
give,
know you, bro. Yeah.
it's a
It's
gangster
not a car.
product.
It's a fucking
I,
setting
I,
up an
I want to
appliance. It's
buy it.
something else.
And
So
this,
I don't need. It's not traditional. Yeah.
so all I see is if I write this, it will, when people look at it, they will feel like they're in a game. And and at the same time, I can go from 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 miles per hour in
True.
2.9 seconds,
It's a
right?
four-wheel drive
It's hilarious,
with the speed of
right?
an
So
E-class
to
or
me, it
something.
was,
I mean, not even
yeah,
E-class, like a performance speed. Yeah,
no, no,
performance
no, no.
BMW. Yeah.
It's fucking
How
supercar.
many?
It's
How
supercar.
many?
So, but the Tesla, but the Tesla
Deep technique.
fanboys were like, "Oh, this is shit. This doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. Doesn't look good." The stock of Tesla went down by $90 or $60 in 1 week. And it took 1 week for the Tesla fanboys to go, oh,
It's
Elon
got a
was,
bulletproof.
he's so
It's
visionary. We didn't
bulletproof.
even see it.
Is the
Oh my
glass
God.
bulletproof or the whole exoskeleton is bulletproof? The whole shell is, I think, stainless
I
steel
don't know.
structure.
It's, it will be what it will be. But on launch, it
Give
looked
me a screenshot.
fucking cool. So I got it because,
So if you look at it, it even comes with a caravan at the back, bro. It even comes with a caravan.
so the most funny part about, so
Look at
what's
that.
the most funny part is he released it before everybody else, the design, but everybody else released and already started
Still
selling
doesn't
electric
look at
cars,
this,
and
man.
he
You could go
hasn't
camping in this damn
released
thing.
it yet.
Far out.
It's amazing. It's a post-apocalyptic, dude. Rednecks love it.
Yeah.
They go like, fuck this, This is the car. This is an electric car. We'll
Hmm.
put our money in. We'll leave our F-150s
Yeah,
for
there will
this.
be. So in Canada, how big is the market for कनाडा में कितने लोगों के पास है ये F-150 वहां भी बहुत चलता है I mean, is the car sense same as in Canada compared to
Yeah,
what's in like in America? People drive the same kind of
yeah,
cars culturally मतलब वही गाड़ियाँ
yeah,
पॉपुलर है जो कनाडा अमेरिका में
yeah, yeah,
तो यहाँ भी मतलब बड़े ट्रक्स का
yeah.
रवाज है
Mostly.
यहाँ यूट्स ज्यादा चलती है ट्रक्स का इतना रवाज नहीं है पिकअप्स है बट नॉट लाइक दो
Yeah.
GMC ट्रक्स लाइक सबर्बन एंड ऑल
No,
दैट स्टफ उसका नहीं है यहाँ तो सड़क पे खड़ी करने की
no,
जगह नहीं मिलेगी आपको
no.
there's not enough space to park it in most houses.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, so my point was even Tesla fanboys did not know the trend. You need to know the trend. So as an entrepreneur, I was like, I'm in the shoes of Elon, and I'm like, hmm, trucks, who buys this? Rednecks?
Shakes. Yeah, I mean,
No.
no, I'm
Blue
talking
collar
about
people?
Cybertruck is something that sheikhs will buy.
Huh?
You know, I mean, you would go to the Middle East. I think a lot of people have it. A
Not
modified
not.
version, a custom version.
Forget about the shakes right now. That it's dude. The shake market is
True,
very
true.
small compared to North America. So in North America, trucks are bought by people who believe in the zombie
What is the
apocalypse,
zombie apocalypse? Is this? Are you
right?
serious or are you just like? I mean,
So,
are there people serious about
uh,
it? They believe apocalypse will happen.
okay, we
क्या है zombie apocalypse? नहीं नहीं
fucking
क्या है
we
zombie? Describe करना
I
zombie
don't know.
apocalypse for people who are listening so they know. Yeah. So
I
zombies
don't
will
know.
come basically. We will have to get into the bunker.
I don't know. Uh, it's
End of the
just
world scenario basically. I
so
would think to
so
be
like
end of the
like
world
we had
scenario will occur.
religions. So religious people have their own beliefs. Science people have their own belief, and the normal people who believe in both stuff kind of say, "Hey, these guys are
Ultimately, I
gonna
guess
fuck
every group
with.
believes in
Look at
some kind of an
they will
apocalypse.
create viruses."
You know, you got the religious group believing in an apocalypse. You got the science group believing in apocalypse.
But the cool people
Yeah, because the cool people
believe in
believe
the
that
zombie
there is
apocalypse.
no apocalypse, but these two fucking groups will create some kind of apocalypse. That's another thing, right?
So you should watch Tim
Yeah, he
Dillon. Do you
came
know
out
Tim
a
Dillon?
couple episodes of Joe Rogan.
So Tim Dillon monologue, Joe Rogan. Just watch that. In the in the meantime, I'm going
Yeah.
for pee pee. Okay, just watch that.
Can
Put it on
we
screen
do
share.
this? Won't we get flagged? Because if we put this up, copyright का मसला तो नहीं होगा? Copyright का मसला तो नहीं
Can't hear you.
I'm back.
Yeah,
Nah, just have to take a bit of break. It's bloody hot, bro. It's really,
nice. So so we are in a situation where the people who were not cool are now cool, you know, because the way things are going, it's stupid. So Tim Dillon did an amazing monologue on Joe Rogan Experience, which is even Joe Rogan was like, "Oh man, that's the best fucking monologue ever." And coming from Joe, it has something. I've been following Tim Dillon for some time now, so I like
is he a
his
comedian?
style of comedy.
Is he a
He
comedian?
goes, is like, yeah, fuck it,
No
dude.
shit.
He's amazing.
Listen.
Oh, he's amazing.
I've listened. They had Bill Burr. I mean, Tim Dillon. He had Bill Burr on his show. I listened to that and was like, yeah, whatever. Like, it was okay. Yeah, I didn't get into it. You know?
No, you gotta see his monologue. I think on
All right.
YouTube you'll find it
It's
for
on
sure.
YouTube, but there are a bunch of monologues here. Uh, there's one on Jeffrey Epstein's death. There's one on. I'll.
No, monologue, monologue Christians.
Another thing I wanted to ask was while you're getting just before you left, if I play this, will it get flagged on YouTube? Copyright or something?
Why?
You can't have other person's content playing on your video. I think
No.
it's not allowed. Yeah. comedian Tim Dillon delivers hilarious
Really?
60-minute monologue. Well, once this video goes on YouTube, मैं उसको upload करूँगा, मैं link लगा दूँगा. But I guess I have to also watch
Mm-hmm.
it, and maybe for our next
Mm.
catch up, I could watch it and we can talk about it.
So, anyhow, speaking of Tim Dillon, did you see that story I
The
sent
one
you?
where let me have a look. The one where you mentioned about the fake breasts. Is that the one? You know, the most amazing woke troll in history.
Go.
Is that the one, right? 4DD chess.
No. And there's this teacher. It's like 10
Acha.
minutes or 7 minutes away from my home, who has become
What did
an
he do?
international star,
What did
and
he
like
do?
it's coming in new. Huh? So she, because being politically correct, has transitioned into a woman, and she used to be a he, and was a shop teacher at a secondary school in one of the richest cities
Cities
in
or
North America.
city? You mean
Okay,
okay, metro suburb, okay, town, yeah,
city,
something.
like a town. It's like a town. So it's one of the. It's called Oakville. It's very close to where I live. I'm on the edge of it, and in this city, he was a shop teacher. And one day last year, after summer vacation, he joins the school with the biggest fake breasts you have ever seen in your life,
Wearing some kind of fucking
right?
like a breast
Changed,
suit or
has
something.
hair, and you,
Yeah, under the t-shirt. Like I saw the photograph. Yeah.
oh my God, I don't know. You should, you can put it on screen. So, so what this person does is goes to school with big breasts and starts teaching kids how to use carpentry tools with huge breasts. So you gotta imagine, like, you know, huge, and he's using a saw. Like, it's the most dangerous shit you have seen, like, especially for kids, right? Like, you're teaching kids, and then you have fake breast, and you're using no
Trans teacher
safety
with
equipment,
Z size prosthetics.
and teaching in, yeah, Z size means like the biggest. And so there was an outrage of students and parents about this. It became such a big thing that it came on.
Is
It's
this the one?
in news in US,
Trans teacher
you
with
know.
Z size prosthetics. Prosthetic breast dresses as a man
Yeah,
outside of school. Neighbor says, "Is that the one?" Fucking.
yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, troll कैसे?
So
How is the
this,
trans teacher
hmm.
trolling? I don't understand. So basically, purposely trying to set an example, or
So this is also,
is this the person?
so nobody really knows. This is the
Yeah, it
person,
does.
looks like Tim Dillon, and so the neighbors are saying, "This is my neighborhood,
Okay, and
somewhere
this is the
close to
lady.
where I live."
I mean, that's him.
And
That's this guy.
yeah,
He's school teacher.
you're gonna get,
Oh,
yeah,
she. No, okay,
she,
hold on a
please.
second. So what I don't understand is who's trolling.
So
Is this
yeah,
person trolling, or is this person actually is a she?
so
I'm confused.
wait, hold on. Yeah, it is confusing. So this person was a man a year ago, came back to school after summer vacation with fake breasts, says that, hey, I've transitioned. Now, this breast is like you could
Yeah,
see
you can.
nipples
Yeah.
from the breast as well, right? So that's not like in any school, how inclusive the school is.
Oh,
It's
this
still
one here. I think
considered,
this is the
you
one.
know,
This is the one.
like you're disclosing.
This one here. Is that what you're talking about? This person here. Far out, man. And this is the one. This is the
Mm-hmm.
one you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Far.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah.
Like, how does this even work, man? Like, I mean,
So technically, they're saying that this guy's doing a 4D test, which is somebody on 4chan, anonymous kid, said that, hey, I know this teacher. This teacher was against all this
oh,
gender
so
fluidity in school,
okay.
and he got a
So he
warning.
became
He
himself
got
a
a warning.
posed as a
So
transgender
he became such so he became such an extreme version of it
to set an example.
that
Very smart,
even
bro. If that is true, that is very
to
smart.
set an example, so if he if they fire him according to the law, he has all the right to sue the fuck out of the school board.
That's 4D chess.
Until they don't fire him, until they don't fire him, he is making a complete joke of the system. This guy is a fucking legend.
Why do you think he's a legend? I mean, for you, why do you think he's a legend? You think he's doing?
Because he's fucking this dude. He has put himself. Now this guy is a teacher at a score. He wants to be a teacher, but deep down he's an entrepreneur to
Hmm,
me because he's
to
smart
challenge the
enough
system,
to play
but
the
yeah,
game,
try to show them the
but
absurdity of their own rules or regulation or whatever. Yeah.
and that's why probably he's a shop teacher because all he has to do is talk about tools, machines, uh, angles, how to fit things and stuff like that. So this guy is a good example of thinking out of the box to beat the system that you are in. I wouldn't have done it. This guy is a legend.
At the
If it
moment,
is true,
nothing has come out whether he is
in my opinion.
someone who's trolling or not trolling.
So so what? ev- Dude, this guy is so smart. He didn't come out. He didn't say anything. Now we are seeing pictures of him as a man. So he's like at school he becomes this teacher, but when he goes out shopping for groceries, he's a man.
Okay, it's spied out in the open, huh?
So it's like if anybody says something, he's gonna fuck. He's like, hey, I decide what I want to do. So this to me is the
So
ultimate troll, and I'm kind of proud that
Joe
it's
Rogan has
happening.
talked about has he?
After, yeah, he has
I
talked
think he
about it.
has because I typed it in YouTube, it
Oh yeah,
came up. Okay, he's reacting to it or whatever. Joe Rogan
yeah,
reaction to trans teacher. Maybe that's the one. Uh, but he has actually reacted a couple of times
yeah.
to the whole transgender situation. I think there's one in Washington as well.
No, but this one, this particular one is the one that, dude,
Oh,
it
okay, there's
came on
one.
Tucker Carlson. Then there's this media
Yeah.
group here called Rebel News. So Rebel News star reporter, his name is David
Hmm.
Menzies. He went to the school
Did
board
this happen 3-4
wearing
months ago?
fake
This
breasts,
thing?
just like her. This has been
Oh, he's been
happening
doing it
since
since then. I
September.
thought कि ये पता नहीं कल परसों की बात है. अच्छा, तो yeah, he's commented on it. But you're telling me कि he is basically
No, no, no,
nearby,
no.
in the same part of the world where you are.
He's nearby, and just last week, they New York Post posted the pictures of him as a man. So it's a slow disclosure, you know. It's like it's it's he's playing the system in a very just art of war way, you know. The chess, like पहले 6 महीने 4 महीने, he just played the game, he just wore himself, and now he's disclosing himself as a man. So now it's like, let's see how far this can go. You know,
That person has
let's
some
see how,
real.
people see the
I
hypocrisy.
mean, if they are meaning to do it to as a troll, he's got the balls, bro. He's
He's
definitely
got
got the
the
balls.
balls, bro. He,
Either way, if he means to
I
do it
don't
or
know.
not, he's definitely got
He's
the
still,
balls. Either way, he's meaning to troll it or not, he's definitely got the balls. I think we will return to this thing later,
but
in the sense the
it's
whole transgender situation in Australia, Canada में जो ये schools में हो रहा है, education system में जो हो रहा है. And like, to be honest, I'm not really well versed in this whole thing, but I think I would like to revisit this thing and talk about what's going on.
yeah, but I just want to show this is like you can be in the system and still be a fucking gangster or like an
True.
entrepreneur. Like that's what used to make North
Yeah.
America amazing,
Yeah.
or the Western world amazing, uh, which is being lost.
True.
So
All right.
that's what I feel. But that was an
All right. I
interesting
think we're on our
story.
2-hour mark now. We've been going at it for a while.
Hmm.
There were a couple of other things I wanted to bring up, but I think that transgender is something that it's been going on for quite a while in a lot of countries. But now, from a political point of
No,
view, or yeah,
now it
it
has
has
been
now come to that surface. It's
it
become
has
mainstream.
become
It's always
mainstream.
been an issue somewhere. It's always been part of the discussion, but now it's become mainstream. Um, I think we'll revisit this in our second or third round, and probably talk about other aspects when it comes to education, in terms of how work, like from a job perspective, how at work transgenders are being accommodated. Sports, जैसे जो रोगन काफी sports और martial arts के point of view से बात करता है. I think next time we talk, we'll talk about that, all that encompassing thing, because I'm not really well read around it, but it's interesting what's going on. Coming to it, slap. I think I
Hmm.
was talking about it. Slap, when it comes to,
Oh,
imagine that sport with
yeah,
transgender.
I
Imagine
yeah,
that with
so
transgender. Imagine you're a female, all right? Or, I mean, imagine you're a male who's now decided to take on the female, um, uh, go through the surgery or whatnot, and decided that now you're, identify as a female, and you walk into something like power slap, where basically martial arts to दूर की बात है ना. Imagine you walk into Power Slap or any of those slap competitions. I think it hails from Russia or wherever, Soviet Union countries.
I don't think
Yeah,
Dana White will
because
allow
Power
it, to
Slap
be
is the
honest.
most
It's
official.
just
I think, yeah.
like he's
I think,
against it
let's see if there are
anyways.
other competing क्या कहते हैं, competitions where it gets that physical. Can you imagine,
I
there are
I
female
I
versions of it as well. I think, but in a very small number. But right now, it's just the other way. Can you imagine a female walking in, identifying as a man, and getting slapped by these fucking big ass fucking dudes, who all they do is just slap people. They do exercise to slap people. I mean, there's certain sports you can't get into it.
yeah, what is it about?
Yeah,
Also, here's my question to you, because that's something you
I
know
got
more about.
infatuated, bro.
To
I was
me,
on,
it's
I was just
dumb as
searching on
fuck.
YouTube and it came up. Yeah,
To me, So before you talk, to me, slapping each
It's
other
not a sport.
for sport is stupid fucking
Yeah,
bullshit.
but that
It's
is what
stupid.
remains.
It's
Apparently,
dumb,
they do a
right?
lot of training. They
So
train their neck muscles and all that.
so here's my question. Let me ask the questions. So what makes you so inquisitive about it? Like what the violence of it? Like what is so exciting? Like when I see basketball, I see moves, right? Oh, look at that. Look at that dunk. The way this guy's, like racing, I love F1 racing. I like to watch people ride. Like I see the speed and the fucking kahunas, of fucking riding at high speeds. But also the skill, and everything involved in it. Uh, so what's about the slap? Like
I think when it comes to
what's
slapping, right?
like
What makes it
what
exciting
makes
to
it
me? What
exciting?
I noticed was just like boxing. You don't understand. There's some sports. Yes, it has amazing amount of skill being utilized in it, but in reality, we being apes or monkeys or whatever you want to call, it's an unnatural activity. Cricket, tennis, all of these ball games. And I
Yeah.
used to go to when I used to go to school. My math teacher used to say that, you know, guys, to me this is just rubbish. I only watch highlights. I never watch the entire game because think about it, there were 22 people running behind the ball. Like seriously, he used to make a joke of it. He was a mathematics teacher. Go figure. But the main thing is this, right? They're all unnatural. They're all unnatural activities in sense that over time, because of children playing or men playing with each other or human beings playing with each other, have discovered that activity and they made a game out of it, like hide and seek or whatever. But when it comes to slapping or it comes to boxing or fighting, they are actually natural forms of human emotion, and they've turned that into a sport. Karate, jujitsu, fencing, ये एक natural thing है. Even if it doesn't exist as a sport, outside the sport it exists. People get slapped every day. You know, people get slapped all the time. So now they turn that into a sport and they put certain rules around it, right? Now the interesting form is how far can you go with pushing of the rules, and in terms of slapping each other, what kind of fitness is involved? मुझे नहीं पता. Like, do they have to train their neck muscles? Do they actually have to all day do stretches when it comes to their shoulder and everything? And is there a technique to it? कि मतलब जब वो मारते हैं तुम्हें थप्पड़ तो are they like using their entire body force? They're using their back arm, whatever. I know it's not interesting to you, but once you look at it, it is up there with the whole. I mean, it's not up there with martial arts or boxing, but it is one of those.
Okay, but isn't
It's a
that
pure strength, a very manly, masculine
yeah,
kind
but
of a.
wouldn't
Yeah.
sure, but wouldn't this fucking actually
Well,
do
boxing
brain
also has
damage?
brain damage, and people lose their knees and break their shoulders and everything.
Yeah, but in boxing, there's if you're Floyd Mayweather, you're like kind of there are
Yeah,
different
I think
styles of
they train
boxing, right?
themselves.
In
Yeah,
this one, you're
and the
just
other person
standing
slaps
there
you. Yeah,
and
but
like,
being able to get
pa!
knocked out from that and surviving that slap, क्योंकि it can knock you out unconscious. क्योंकि आपको एकदम से जब जोर से धप्पड़ पड़ता है, झापड़ आप समझ लो.
Yeah, but I don't like I saw this.
It's a reality
Somebody
TV
shared this with
version. Yeah,
me
yeah.
when it
This one
started,
is a
and I was
reality
like,
TV version. So yeah,
but I
that's
get
the
that, but
sport you mean?
just generally, like a fuck,
Hmm.
just the sport itself, it
Bro,
doesn't
जब थप्पड़
excite me.
पड़ता है
Like
ना, the
what
other
what?
person falls and they have to recover again. That is really exciting to watch. Can you stand a slap from other person?
But that's also not natural. Nobody stands and like, okay, let's
It's
do a
like a
duel.
duel without
What
guns.
is this
It's like
duel?
a it's like
A
Barton
slap
Fink,
duel.
Barton Fink. Sorry, what's the Stanley Kubrick movie where that in the old days when you have a problem with someone, you'll have a duel,
Yeah, the
right?
duel. It's
I can't
like a
remember the
fucking
name, but
duel.
in that game they show basically,
Yeah,
basically turn around and you have a duel. So in a way, this is a duel. It's
I
like कि
get
भाई
that.
आना
What
आजा
I'm
बाहर जाके
saying,
लड़ते हैं. So instead of having a fight, he's just having slaps.
yeah, but in that duel, people take steps. They walk far away, and whoever is a sharpshooter or a
Wins.
fast drawer right? I don't see anybody having a conflict and then saying, let's have a slap match.
No, yes and no. Yes and no.
Because there's
Yeah,
the
I see where you're
constant
coming from.
there's
Yes and no.
there's
Yes
no
and no.
constant.
So, if you look at
There's
this
no constant.
slapping,
There's no
this sport, I think it hails from one of the former Soviet Union countries, जो countries हैं Kazakhstan वगैरह, from one of those slap match wiki slap fighting. They call it slap fighting apparently, and there's a whole Wikipedia page on it. You know, I know it's
so
stupid.
stupid.
I know.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I'm gonna
but
keep on saying it's stupid. Fucking
oh, I came
shit.
across a video game actually. So let's look at Slap Magazine, Slap Air, Power
So
Slap.
fucking dumb.
Power Slap. Let's look at Power Slap just to get an idea how it works. Share. I see where you're coming from. The thing is, without killing the other person, what are the ways that we can, yeah,
I'm not. Listen. You don't have to.
slap
I'm just gonna
fighting
say what I'm gonna say. Don't worry about it.
combat sport. Okay, it's a professional wrestling. It's kind of a look at it. The show was due to premiere on, but was delayed
This is
a week after White
this is
was
like
filmed slapping his wife. You know,
Je,
just look at
Je, yeah. The whole thing was like a fucking.
you
He
think he
just
did it
did
for
it
the?
like
Yeah, they're definitely health risks, man.
yeah.
Because just obviously it can cause a lot of trauma to the body, but so does let me see slap fighting.
You know the Roman
Yeah,
Empire is so stupid right now that
slapping
they're having
contests.
power
That's the one I'm
slaps.
talking about. Slapping contests
Like
in Russian bodybuilding championships.
yeah,
Slapping contests are often held between contestants. देखा? Where opponents stand across from each other and exchange blows
yeah.
until one concedes or knockout. Power slap, a slap fighting competition debuted, right? So it is inherently what I'm trying to say is that it's a test, it's a duel without guns, basically. If you think about it, I mean, boxing, all these things are kind of duels without guns, and it's make martial art.
Yeah, but it's a Jerry Springer version of all that. It's
Yes, it is.
stupid.
Look, it is a Jerry Springer version, but now what remains to be seen culturally. Culturally,
Like
where do you think this is gonna go? It'll be interesting to watch. Yes, you might consider it as a sport, but you know,
see see like if it so you had the boxing, you have wrestling, you have
yeah, they're all martial arts.
Aikido,
Yeah, this
fucking
is not a martial art.
jujitsu, and all these,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you have mixed martial arts, right? Then you have UFC. People watch it. People go, okay, let's see what this guy's gonna do. He's good at jujitsu, and I don't watch any of that, anyways. Okay,
Do you find
because because
any kind of martial
to
art?
me it's like
I don't watch anything anyway. Only UFC or maybe I watch the only true martial art, which is WWE.
I uh
Yeah,
so no, I don't. So the only thing I like is boxing.
yeah. Unless I think you're there, is not worth
Like I
watching.
would
Maybe
watch a
maybe
boxing
उसमें
match.
वो मजा नहीं है शायद. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It's like for me, it's like it's an event where men all around the world watch together.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like a men thing,
It's a blood
like
sport.
boxing duel, and it has history. It has history. There's a lot of
Indeed.
money involved. That's why I'm interested in boxing, which has gone out of. Like, there's no big boxing matches anymore. We don't see any of that because UFC has taken over, right?
Or
So there's
Floyd
now it's all
Mayweather
UFC.
fighting a YouTuber or
Um,
something like that.
yeah, whatever. So to me, it's like boxing was there, but I never got interested in like
I think that
any
era,
physical
हम उस era में
fucking
पैदा नहीं हुए
violent
ना. I
sports.
guess. The other thing is also
No, but we all love fucking Muhammad
यार भाई
Ali.
उसको
Like
मार्केट भी
we
किया,
all
नहीं
have
मार्केट
seen
भी किया है ना उसको,
Muhammad
बार बार उसके
Ali.
फिल्में
Yeah.
बन रही हैं, पोस्टर्स बिक रहे हैं, किताबें बिक रही हैं, वो भी तो है ना एक मार्केट भी, इट्स लाइक ब्रूस ली. Nobody knows shit about kung fu or the art of it or anything, but देखो ब्रूस ली कितना famous है,
No, no, I get that. What I'm saying is that the boxing has
right? Power
heritage,
slap doesn't
right?
have heritage.
And it's it's
Slapping does have
if
no heritage. Yeah.
huh? No, not that. Boxing has heritage that's been there for, at the time where it's a new heritage. It wasn't like, it's not like martial arts. I don't think fucking 1800 they were doing like, you know, oh, let's do a
Yeah, I
tournament.
guess it's boxing did exist
You
in
get what
the
I'm,
Roman Empire and all that, but maybe it's a
as a
localized tournament, not
tournament.
like कि भाई belts दे रहे हैं और heavy weight है, featherweight है, वो सब नहीं था. Yeah.
Yeah, the shit. I think if they want to distract us that much, I mean, they should fucking do some gladiator shit, That's
Yeah.
like, come on, you know. Now that's something I would watch because it's stupid, like it's like fucking dangerous. And the fact that somebody would go into a ring with a fucking lion,
Gladiators, yeah, that was basically just
I'd
kill or be
watch
killed,
that.
right? I mean, जैसे वो film Gladiator में दिखाया है उससे पहले.
Yeah,
Yeah, blood
that's
sport,
pretty
proper
cool.
blood sport. Yeah, yeah. I
That's
guess
pretty
everything is
cool.
a sport when it comes down
Yeah,
to the
but
physical aspect. Your body is something that you're using as an you're doing an activity where you're using your muscular prowess or your flexibility or you know I guess your body's all the gift of the training, the talent and everything to do a certain maneuver. चाहे वो बॉल फेंकने की हो, चाहे वो किक करने की हो, जो भी है.
right.
मगर स्लैप में क्या है कि I'm not defining it. I'm just saying it just was interesting to me. Look at what all these
No, I,
chimpanzees are doing,
and
bro.
I'm not.
That's what I was
I'm
thinking when I saw it. That's all. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, but I'm
कि
trying to
draw क्या है?
understand what
Well,
what
I guess
makes it so.
people
Yeah,
like watching people getting slapped.
money.
I mean, think about it. People paying pay-per-view to getting, I mean, Jake Paul or Tommy Fury का match है, right? I think Logan Paul's brother, I think he's going to boxing. Doesn't matter. Um, People are getting punched in the face or getting kicked in the nuts or getting their shins broken in UFC, and people are paying to watch it, right? So इसी तरह से slap maybe something that people, dude, human beings can do stupid things sometimes,
Yeah, but it has skill.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just it was. I think that Dana White's gone fucking
Yeah, I think
cuckoo,
he is no
in my
जो
opinion, with
WWE का
this.
जो ओनर था या yeah.
No offense to anybody. Yeah, it's just a stupid opinion of mine, but
You think he's
this is
lost the
like,
plot? मतलब yeah.
why? It's like, okay, do it.
Well, that
And
is
I
maybe the
think it's just for
maybe
money,
that is
and he knows
entrepreneurship,
that
right?
fucking
Maybe that
people are
is
stupid.
one side of entrepreneurship. He did sports, and the only thing he knows, उसको sports के अलावा और कुछ पता नहीं है
Maybe
maybe.
may,
So he decided कि चलो यार.
maybe he was like, yeah, a bunch of fucking fat
There you
fucks
go,
will
man.
talk about it on a
अभी
podcast.
I guess it remains to be
Uh,
found, and it's a show. I mean, think about it, right? It is the most infectious kind of a sport in sense के दुनिया में ऐसी बहुत जगह हैं where you can have something like these slapping competitions and it costs you nothing to televise, costs you nothing to host them. Because when you have a ring involved and you got lighting or you got combat sports and all the other kind of sports, cost a lot of money. Whereas this one, it's easy to televise. You can do it among the audience of 1,000 people on a stage. मैंने कुछ videos देखे.
oh, so it's like the
Could be a podcast
podcast
version of a
version of
combat
violence.
sport violence. Yeah, it could be. Because I mean, if you think about it, boxing, it requires years of training and different kind of skill sets. And I'm not, yeah. There people train as
I'm
well, but I
sure
think
these
they're
people
more.
train,
It's more
dude.
about कि आप कितना सह
Like,
सकते हो. टेक्निक टेक्निक तो है दूसरे आदमी की आपको वो स्लैप करे. मगर you being able to handle a fucking slap and surviving it, I think is the skill. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what looks like the skill is. Skill मारने में नहीं है, skill सहने में है. That's what it is. It's being able to take that slap. I guess just as the time guzarta रहेगा, I guess we will have to wait for Joe Rogan to talk about it. I mean, he's in martial arts, and maybe his guest is someone who's in martial arts. And if he talks about it, maybe we'll get more insight. Magar abhi nobody's talking about it. So, I was just surfing and it came across. Yeah.
Because it's fucking stupid.
Human beings do stupid things, bro. Well, on that note, I think you want to save some
Yeah.
conversations for a later time we catch up. Yeah, because we've been going for 219,
Sure.
and I think we
Yep.
had a good chat today. We went from dead birds flying in the sky, like floating in the sky, to uh, all the way to getting slapped in the face. Yeah. And in the middle,
I think we should keep a secret what we're gonna
keep
talk
it
about the
secret
next one.
as to what we're going to talk about the next one. Yeah, definitely keep it a secret. I mean, I have a couple of things that I wanted to discuss with you and try to bring on some of our birds to give their thoughts on it. And at the end of the day, I guess it's all about different perspectives. Yeah. Chal, bro.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun. I
Yep.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
felt that vibe where we kind of we were kind of on sync on certain things and maybe out of sync on certain things. But I think overall it was a very good syncy conversation that happened. Yeah, I just made an English word up,
Sinky.
bro.
Fucking
On the fly. It's not my language, bro. अपन तो
fucked
दूसरी
it up.
जमाने में बोलते हैं ना तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है. All right, bro. Time to log off. I'll talk to you, man. Have a good one.
Alright, man. Alright then. You too, buddy.